wonderful people.
Hello, we're back.
It's Nancy night.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear Lauren okay?
Hello.
I hope so. The console hears you just fine, so I'm assuming everybody else can. How are we doing tonight? It's a Sunday night. Perfect night for a Nancy night.
Yes. Excited to have the sun go down in my windows as we play.
Yeah, we picked a game we really enjoyed playing the first time round.
Yeah.
Because those are the most fun ones to replay, so.
Mm-hmm.
Avery's here. Hello, hello. Yeah, so we do have the drinking game rules pulled up. I'm not going to be going like too ham tonight because it's a Sunday night. But
first day back at work tomorrow after a long time.
Yeah. But I do have a beer, so grab a brew.
It is a new microphone, Kendall. Thank you for noticing. I sound so good now, don't I?
Lauren got a new microphone for Christmas, guys. She's so official.
I know. Wild.
And I have a new fancy silent mic arm that I'm in love with. It's so nice.
Cool.
I love it so much. So yeah, I'm gonna pop the link to the drinking game rules in the chat. So if you want to have that up and follow along, play along, it's there. In this one, I feel like we're gonna get some tasks probably. Definitely have stuff that's locked. I don't remember this one having stressful music, but I guess every game does at some point, right? Probably.
Yeah. That's too some.
I don't know if this one has many fireplaces because it's we're on a train for most of it. But there might be fireplaces on there. I don't remember. So yeah, it's a good little list. It usually ends up working pretty well. So I guess we'll get started. We're gonna pop into a new game.
Welcome to my latest case,
Oh boy.
Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, click on Tutorial.
We're gonna go Junior because we've proved ourselves.
We have, and I really like a task list if I'm on it.
Mm-hmm. It's very helpful. And then the puzzles that are harder.
Dear Hannah, here I am at the railroad station along with a handful of other detectives about to board a train bound for who knows where. The only person who knows where we're going is Lori Gerard. That's the young woman who invited everyone. Actually, she didn't really invite me. She invited Frank
really
and Joe
fast,
Hardy,
too.
and they invited me. And I've always wanted to join forces with the Hardy Boys. I just hope this doesn't turn
this
out to
the
be
first
another
time
one
we
of
do
Lori's
that?
silly attempts to grab publicity. Some people can be a little too rich and a little too famous for their own good. Wish me luck. Love, Nancy.
Well, people, now that our little orientation tour is over, let's get started. Okay, I, again,
wish this
am
was a
Lori
movie that you
Gerard,
could watch,
and the
I
first
would-
thing I want to do is thank you all for coming. John Gray,
It's
I am
a little
so thrilled that you're
glass
taking
onion.
time out from that TV show
Yeah,
of yours
it
to
feels
do
like,
some ghost hunting here with us.
Murder on the Orient
I mean,
Express.
Ghost Chasers is like
Yeah.
the best cable show ever. And Charlena Purcell. I cannot tell you how
Yeah.
much I adore those romance novels you write. Your characters just seem so real. And all that stuff you know about the Old West, you are just
This one is so
awesome.
smug.
And
I
Tino
remember being
Dalton.
so annoyed by it.
Only the most famous police detective in the country.
Tino!
And then there's Frank and Joe Hardy. They're amateur detectives. My dad and their dad are old friends. And you must be the other amateur detective, their friend, Natalie?
Nancy Drew.
Sorry.
Whatever.
You know the
All
Hardy
right.
Boys, but you
I'll
don't know
bet you're
us.
wondering
Right, it's
where
kinda
we're
wild.
going.
She
Well,
knows
we're
us
going
through
to
the Hardy
Copper Gorge, Colorado.
Yeah.
Why? To solve the mystery of what happened to Jake Hurley,
Do they have
the
a
man who
35
originally
videos
owned
here?
this train. Because see, one day in 1903, this train was found in a place called Blue
Her
Moon
voice.
Canyon, which was out in the middle of the
Very
Nevada
breathy.
desert. Only the engineer was on board, and he was dead. As for Jake Hurley, he had disappeared from the face of the earth.
Ooh.
Oh, and two more things. Before he disappeared, Jake was rumored to have found the richest gold mine in the world. And the train he owned, this train, his wife Camille died on it while they were going to the gold fields. It was rumored to be haunted.
She's
Oh
gone.
my gosh.
What in the world?
What the?
Hey,
Oh my
what's
God.
And doesn't
going
she do it
on?
on purpose? That's what I remember.
I know, I forgot a
People
lot
should
of the
never
story,
go
but I do
tampering with
remember
things
that.
they don't understand.
Oh, brother.
Oh,
It's okay.
brother.
Everybody just stay calm. No need to panic. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Well, Nancy, you're up on all that social etiquette stuff. What are you supposed to do when your
literally
hostess
said
vanishes
it.
into thin air?
If I don't seem concerned, it's because I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Laurie Gerard is a young woman whose
Alright.
only goal in life is to be famous. She craves attention and habitually uses her father's considerable wealth to get it.
Okay, so you
Alright.
think it's a publicity stunt?
So you think her disappearing like that is just some kind of publicity stunt?
I just think she couldn't resist showing off in front of all of us minor celebrities. What was your name again?
Nancy Drew, you and I have actually met. Sort of. I called you not too long ago when I was at Shadow Ranch. You gave me some information about Dirk Valentine.
Ah, Nancy Drew.
You definitely don't know who he
Yeah, she's just.
You don't remember me, do you?
No.
is. No.
Well, she was honest and owned up to it.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley?
Psst, Nancy. Come here.
Excuse me for a second.
What, are you a
Joe.
weirdo? Yes.
Hey, Nance.
Boys.
Where have you two been?
I followed Tino Balducci.
And I went after John Gray. He went straight to the room in the car that used to be Camille's and didn't come out again. I could hear all these weird noises coming from inside.
Is John
Okay.
Gray the black man?
Yeah, gotta be, because the only other man is
Is
Tino.
Okay.
Any idea what he was doing?
I was just about to go in, but the next thing I know, Joe's got my arm in a vice grip and is dragging me back here, babbling about how Balducci's our guy.
He found something on the floor right where Laurie was standing when the train went dark. I saw him pick it up and put it in his pocket. Then he left.
Did you see what it was?
When I tried to talk to him, he just kind of brushed me aside and said something snotty like, "I'm on the job here, Junior, so just go back to the playground and stay out of the way." In case you two hadn't noticed, we're not getting a lot of respect around here. Can't we at least tell Balducci that we do stuff for ATAC?
You know the rules.
ATAC?
American Teens Against Crime. We do a lot of undercover
That
work for
will
them.
not
Wonder
sway
Cop's
him.
probably never even been undercover.
Joe,
That is not the
let it
power
go.
card you think it is.
What'd Charlena have to say?
She thinks Laurie is faking this whole disappearance thing.
She's not the only one.
How can you say that? You heard Laurie scream.
Anybody can scream, Joe. Especially girls whose fathers have given them acting lessons along with everything else they've ever wanted.
What about you, Nancy? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, anybody can scream.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I don't
I
think
kind
it's
of
real.
agree with Frank.
You've got to be kidding.
Plus, we have to side with Frank.
Yeah, because Frank's, yeah.
We're meant to be.
We love Frank.
Do you think maybe one of Laurie's other guests is in on her disappearance?
It's certainly possible.
From the way she talked, it didn't sound like she knew any of them.
Maybe that's what she wanted us to think.
Or maybe that's what one of them wanted her to think.
Well, whether Laurie disappeared by force or by choice, what we've got to do now is find her.
Absolutely.
Also, I realized we have to take a drink for referencing a past game because of Charlene Purcell.
Yep.
Okay.
Has anyone talked to the engineer?
Not that I know of.
Then I'm going to head up front and tell him what's happened. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Good idea. In the meantime, we'll take another look around in here.
Great. Catch you later.
Okay, bye-bye. Let's go this way first. What's this?
Engineer, what do you want?
Hello, I'm one of the passengers, and
want?
I just thought you should know that Laurie Gerard has disappeared.
So?
I forgot the engineer is so over it.
He does not care.
He doesn't care.
Or he knows.
I just thought you might want to call the police or something.
Hey, all I know is I take orders from Miss Gerard, okay? Right now my orders are to get this train to Copper Gorge non-stop. And until Miss Gerard tells me otherwise, that's what I'm gonna do.
But she...
But Laurie may not even be on the train anymore.
Okay.
Look, Miss Gerard may not be a rocket scientist or anything, but even she knows better than to jump off a moving train.
But
Now, if you'll excuse me, I got me a train to run.
Okay.
Deep cut, maybe, but you gotta check the pleasure chamber? What?
Someone put that in chat.
Kendall did.
The
It's a-
pleasure chamber.
It's too deep a cut for me, but I feel like you're gonna tell me what it references and I'm gonna be mad at myself.
a square and a duck. It looks like this thing opens up. But how?
That doesn't happen for a long time, I remember that.
Yeah.
Looks like some sort of steam valve.
Right, okay. I know we don't want to mess with that yet. We can't get off.
This door goes outside. Opening it now would not be a good idea.
Oh, Jenkins can tell you where it is. Ah, okay. It's a Rockport Limited reference.
Okay.
Which we started re-listening to on the way home from Christmas, but I promptly fell asleep. Flippy fins, freshly canned salmon.
Cute.
That's it, huh? Okay.
Yes?
What are you working on?
I'm writing my next book. I'm on a deadline, so until I write those two most wonderful of all three-letter words, the end, everywhere I go, my laptop goes, and every chance I get, I write.
All right.
Okay.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley? You know, the man who originally owned this train?
Wealthy, imaginative, adventurous, stubborn, egocentric, and most importantly, he was smitten at the age of 35 by a young French woman named Camille Voulet, who died about a year after they were married.
Where was he from?
East Coast, Philadelphia, I think. His parents were British aristocrats. Sometime in the 1870s, he decided to seek his fortune out west, so he had this train custom built so that he, and some years later his wife, could traverse the mountains and plains in relative comfort.
He built it for himself.
Yep.
That's wild.
Why not?
So he went west and became a miner?
All anyone knows for sure is that years after Camille's death, he showed up in Denver with a pouch full of gold nuggets and semi-precious stones, which he used to purchase mining supplies. He refused to say how he'd come by them, which of course led to speculation that he had found a fantastically rich vein somewhere. Although to this day, its existence remains unsubstantiated, and its location quite unknown.
Why do you think Laurie invited you on this trip?
No doubt because
I
I'm
wonder
such an
if
authority
we'll
on life
find
in the
it.
Old West, and because I'm so good at using old information to unearth new information. My knack for research is,
He's
well,
Rory
it's a
Gilmore.
gift.
This is what she grew up to be.
Yeah.
This
Honestly.
smug lady that research.
Well, I'll let you go.
That would be nice.
Okay.
That would be nice. Was there a sink in that kitchen cart?
Maybe?
Was it a kitchen cart? It was, right?
Probably. I'll take a sip.
Pretty. Looks like some kind of gemstone.
Take it.
No. Okay, we gotta look at it like this.
You can also rotate them.
Yeah. Does that one work? That one kind of looks like it works, actually.
I think that's, yeah. That one goes on the bottom. What you just put on the top. Yeah.
Oh,
The one with
this is
3 goes in the middle. Yeah, that one goes in the top middle.
And then this one's this corner. Yeah, this one's up here. Oops. Come on. Ugh. The mouse is a little janky.
The side piece needs to be rotated. Or both of those, yeah.
Okay. This looks right. Is this right?
It looks right to me. That
Oh, this one isn't right. Well,
maybe switch it for the one on the other side.
Left pickaxe and lamp with buell for safekeeping. To open what's closed, lead is the key. Or is it lead is the key?
doubt it.
It's lead. I think
This
there's
must
a
have been the
periodic
sleeping
table
car.
at some point.
Yeah, I remember there being a periodic table.
We were always annoyed that we couldn't go in any of those rooms.
Tale of Two Dolls.
I think we have to take a picture of this.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Okay.
I need 4 numbers to unlock this, and there's, what, 10,000 possible combinations? Guessing could take me a while.
All right, we won't try and guess it. Can we go in any of these stores, or is
Nope, never.
All right, we don't want to pull the brake. Okay.
Is the Tino car or the John, whatever that guy's name was to come out?
Yeah, I think it's John.
What's
Hi,
up?
you're that Nancy person. How you doing? John Gray.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I've seen your TV show.
Then I don't have to explain what I'm doing.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you do.
Right now, I'm taking time-lapse electromagnetic readings and recording background noise. This was Camille's private car. If she had something to do with Lori's disappearance, analyzing these readings may give me a clue as to Lori's whereabouts.
Okay.
Are you saying that Camille's ghost kidnapped Lori?
What to most people are ghosts are actually temporary distortions in local electromagnetic fields caused by the presence of residual psychic energy generated by the person or persons who frequented that particular locale. That's my working theory, at least.
And you think that had something to do with her disappearance?
That's a little hard to swallow.
It's all very scientific.
Oh,
But
okay.
the fact is, Lori's missing.
It's
And I, for one, am
very
doing everything in my power to find her. The vibes I'm getting make me think she could be in serious trouble.
Charlene Purcell thinks Lori is just playing some kind of joke on us.
Charlene Purcell writes romance novels. End of comment.
Okay.
What do you think
Wow,
of
the
Tino Balducci?
pretension.
I kind of feel
Right.
sorry for the guy.
So she's
After
not
catching
worthy
those
of
bank
any
robbers,
respect
he
whatsoever.
can't just be a good cop anymore. He's got to be a great cop. Tough to perform under that kind of pressure.
Is Lori a friend of
Wow.
yours?
First time I met her was when I boarded this train with all the rest of
That
you.
sucks.
I knew her by reputation, of course, like everyone else who reads the tabloids. It doesn't appear that anyone aboard this
Like
train is her
everyone
friend.
else.
Maybe she doesn't have any friends.
Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe you can be
This
too
is
rich
gossip.
after all.
Drink.
Oh, yes, it is. For sure.
Thanks for the chat.
Take care.
Okay. Can you mess with any of his stuff?
I think he leaves at some point.
The Little Book of Samplers.
Oh, right. Embroidery stitches.
Yes. Those are important.
Okay. I remember we missed something in here for a long time. Maybe it was that.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Sickly Sarah caught a germ so new it made one of her pretty green eyes turn blue.
Okay, are we taking that? No. Okay. Okay.
This looks like some sort of game. Nothing happens. I'll bet I have to wind it up first.
Dolly's not doing
Darn.
so well. No. She is not.
Hi, Brave.
Wipe out.
Okay, do I have to push this? Because I did that. Okay, there we go. No!
Wipe out.
Hello, hello. Oh my god.
Shoot.
What?
Oops.
I don't know.
The button goes down and then he just doesn't jump. What?
Shoot.
You don't. It would be so cool if it was a wolf racing.
Do I have to like win this to get a token or something? Or do we just do this endlessly?
it.
Okay.
Yay!
Wonder what's in
Okay.
here.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Music. Okay.
Music.
I need some music.
Yes, Nancy.
We have the music. Drink.
This would be so wrong if it was wolf racing. That'd be wild. I am from the South, and for a long time in my youth, dog racing was a legit thing that happened here. and Florida has now outlawed it. But I have been to a legit dog race, and it was terrible.
They only banned it at the place in Pensacola like a year ago, a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was
really recently.
It was on the bill, or it was on the ticket in like maybe the 2020 election.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
for greyhound dogs.
Not long ago.
No. There's this cute older man that lives in my parents' neighborhood, and he rescues greyhound dogs after they've been like put through it, and you see him like walking them all the time, and so the greyhound dogs are also older, and he's had like so many throughout his life. It is really cute.
It's very sweet.
Or he like fosters them and then like rehomes them. It's
And we recently, like while we were home for Christmas, we left to go run errands, and they had just left the house, and we're like out front of their house starting a lap around that circle.
So you met him?
As we like saw them on our way out, and then we like went and ran errands, and then it was probably like 15-20 minutes later we came back, and he was just rounding the other corner by your parents' house. So it was like 20 minutes, and they had not made it even one lap around the loop.
Maybe they were doing many laps.
Maybe. I mean, the dog and the man are both quite old, so I imagine it was just like a very leisurely walk.
Yeah,
it's
cute. Super cute. Yeah.
Oh.
Don't do that, please. Those microphones I set up over there are very sensitive. Just about took out my eardrums.
Okay.
You can play that thing when
about
I'm
your
done.
eardrums?
I'll let you know when that is, all right?
Okay.
Fine.
I like how that's the game being like, you're not supposed to know how to play the piano yet. and we just like know how to play.
You're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll just wait.
Thomasina O'Neill.
Okay, are we taking this?
No.
No.
I think we just need to know that it's like a blue ribbon with that name.
Right, okay.
Looks like Camille was
I kind of
teaching
remember
herself
having
how to
notes
play
for
the
this
piano.
one. Oh, it does teach you how to play it.
Yeah, I have, I think my notebook for all my Nancy game stuff is in the living room, but yeah, I definitely have these notes for this game with all the dolls. And
The freaking dolls.
It's locked.
I just
It's
want to look up a
locked.
solution to that. We can't even look at it, Nancy.
Nope.
Okay.
Not even a peek.
Looks like some kind of sewing sampler. I wonder if there's a relationship between those symbols and those numbers.
Probably. Otherwise, why would they be there? And Nancy.
Yeah. I forget. I mean, I know we found the thing in the book that talks about cross-stitching, but I don't think we can do anything
we
with
can't
this
do
yet.
this either. Yeah.
I wonder what's under here. And what the deal is with those weird-looking bolts.
Right.
Looks like I need a special tool.
Okay. Come back.
Hello?
Nancy, hi, it's me.
Hi, Bess.
And me.
Hey, George, what's up?
What's up? You're the one who's on the train with a bunch of famous people. You tell us. This is torture, Nancy. I'm dying
Well,
of
Frank is
curiosity.
here, and that's
Bess,
all we
just
care
calm
about.
down.
I feel
Oh,
like this
you're
is a
not
train
just
of like
curious as
F-list
I am.
celebrities.
She's the one who insists on calling you Nancy. Only because you're driving me crazy. I'm supposed to be helping her paint her room, but every other brushstroke, she's like, "Where do you think she is now? How do you think the Hardy Boys are doing? Why do you think she hasn't called? What do you think Laurie Gerard is wearing?" Oh, George, that is so not true. I
She's
could
wearing the
care less what Laurie
early
Gerard is
aughts
wearing.
outfit you've ever seen in
So
your
come
life.
on, Nancy. You're on a train full of famous people bound for who knows where. So
Guys,
dish
you want us to
already,
talk or
would
not?
ya? Bess, calm down. Look what you did. You got paint in my hair. I'm sorry. You know, actually, that
Everybody
looks
has
kind of
someone
cool.
who calls them
Nice try, Bess. No,
to
really.
do this.
You're just saying that because you're
That
afraid
just
I'll
doesn't
fail
let
and
you
you'll wind up
talk.
having to paint this dump all by yourself. George, I
You're
kid
sitting
you
there
not.
holding
You
the phone like,
seriously think about doing some major highlights in that
I
color.
really didn't
What
need
color
to be
is it?
involved.
Adobe beige.
Nice try, Bess.
What's going on, Nan?
Well,
Our hostess has disappeared.
What do you mean, disappeared?
I mean, the train went into a tunnel, everything went dark, and when the train came out of the tunnel, no Lori. She just disappeared.
Publicity stunt.
Yeah, I mean,
Even Bess is like, nah.
My thoughts exactly.
Remember the
we
time
usually
she
have to
was
explain
allegedly
everything to
kidnapped
Bess,
for a
and
Vegas
yeah,
hotel
she's
room?
called.
Yeah, the guy across the hall just happened to have a camera and got it all on tape. It made the evening news in practically every city in the country. And then there was her daring escape the next morning. Only it turns out she faked the whole thing. Of course, she claims her
I
ex-boyfriend faked
forgot.
to get back at her. She thought she was really being kidnapped. Like anybody believes that.
Sounds to me like somebody has been spending a lot
Nancy
of
has
time
been
reading the
kidnapped multiple
tabloids.
times.
George has. Very
That is
funny.
accurate.
So what else is going on?
We don't fake it, though.
Before she disappeared, Lori told us that the purpose of this train trip is to find out what happened to Jake Hurley, the train's original owner.
Was he murdered or something?
No one knows. He was married to a woman named Camille, but she died, and he eventually vanished while mining for gold. His train was found abandoned in Blue Moon Canyon, Nevada, with no one on board but his dead engineer.
Someone wants the
Whoa,
gold.
Spooky. Have any theories?
Not
Oh,
yet.
I forgot
but
there's
the
a
train is also rumored
ghosty.
to be haunted by his dead wife.
We see her every now and then,
So
right?
first Hurley's wife
Yeah,
dies,
we
then
do.
Hurley vanishes, then the engineer dies, then Lori vanishes. A pattern, maybe? Bess, do us all a favor and leave the detective work to Nancy, okay?
Has either of you been to Copper Gorge, Colorado?
Never heard of the place. Why?
Well, that's where the train I'm on is headed. Apparently, Jake Hurley buried his wife Camille there after she died on the train.
If you
She
like
died
wanted to
on the
speedrun
train?
Nancy, you would
Ew,
have to like
creepy.
mod it so that you could skip dialogue.
Yeah. A lot of speedrunning.
John Gray has set up a bunch of equipment in Camille's
includes
train car in hopes of
dialogue
documenting
times.
distortions
And
in the
I
think- Really?
electromagnetic field
'Cause I think
caused
you're
by her
supposed to
residual energy.
play the game as
Say what?
accurately as possible.
He's looking for Camille's ghost.
But,
Don't you ever watch him on TV?
You would
Just because
probably
I
just have
watch
to
him
know
doesn't
which
mean I
dialogue
understand
options
him.
are unnecessary.
Right.
Talk to you soon.
Okay. Well, George, back to work.
You know,
Tino, my
Hey.
man.
Nancy, right?
Oh, okay.
we hate
That's
you.
right, Nancy Drew.
Amateur detective, huh? You ever thought about becoming a real detective?
Okay.
You know, like me?
He's such a profoundly dumb man as well.
You mean become a police detective? No, I never have.
It's a great job, you know. I love
Private sector's where
you,
the money is.
heard
bud.
about those bank robberies I solved, right?
Tell me
You're gonna
about
tell me
them.
about them. Yeah.
Baffling case. Two-man team at 17 banks in 3 states in 5 days. FBI had no idea who the perps were. But after forcing their vehicle to a stop, confronting them, despite the fact that they were armed and giving chase, I single-handedly made the collar.
Okay.
I heard they stopped because you accidentally rear-ended them.
You heard wrong.
I'm
You see,
sure
Nancy,
we did.
when somebody does something really remarkable in this country, the first thing everybody else does is try to tear them down. Reporters, late-night comedians, even some of my fellow officers, all have been spreading vicious lies about me. Why? Because they've never done anything remarkable in their sorry little lives, and they're jealous. Anyway, you should look around in here.
Wow.
Lots of interesting stuff. This was
such an
Jake's
ass.
private car, you know.
Should drink every time he says something super arrogant.
Yeah, honestly, we should just add that to the list.
Okay. Drink.
I understand that you found something on the floor in the dining car.
Yeah, at first I thought it was an old coin, but it turned out to be some kind of slug.
Slug.
Where do you
Not
think
like
it came
the
from?
Probably been lying there for 100 years. May have served a purpose back then, but now,
I think
worthless.
the little coin sort of things we're collecting are slugs.
Ah, yes. Okay.
May I see it?
Sure,
Can we
in
have it,
fact,
please?
here, keep it. Wear it around your neck or something.
Thank you.
That way, when people ask you where you got it, you can tell them Tino Balducci
okay, there
gave
goes
it to
another
you.
Yep.
The Tino Balducci.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Oh,
You know,
thank
you're
you.
gonna make us go.
What
harder
else
than
can
we
I do
wanted
for
to.
you?
Yeah, it's gonna be all down to Tino.
So, what do you think happened to Lori?
Well, she could have been kidnapped. She could have been tossed off the train. She
So
could
you
be
don't
hiding
know.
from us. But I obviously won't know which until I've gathered all the facts.
When do you
Considering
think
you're
that will
just
be?
sitting in this
I'll know the
room.
facts
Right,
when I know
Macy's
the
like,
facts.
so when is that
The truth
gonna
can't be
be? 'Cause
rushed,
you're
you know.
not doing anything.
Have you had a chance to talk to Charlena Purcell?
Now, why would I want to do a thing like that?
Okay, excuse me. I mean, she's pretty unpleasant to talk to, fair enough.
You don't like her?
I can't stand those sappy books she writes. And seeing as I said as much during an interview on national TV once, it's a
Why
pretty
would you
safe
do
bet
that?
she doesn't like me.
Because he's an ass.
Because he's an ass.
Have you talked to John Gray?
The ghost guy? Total quack. Only reason I talked to him would be to arrest him for fraud.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, bye.
It's been great talking to you.
Not a problem.
Can we look at your stuff?
Wonder what Jake used this for.
Okay.
Wish I had some Cheez-Its.
Another gemstone.
Wish you had some what?
Cheez-Its. Can we take it? No.
The ultimate snack.
Yes. Or an avocado. Maybe I'm just hungry.
Yeah, okay, we've got our book about minerals.
Looks
and
like an old-fashioned
crystals.
cigar box. Wonder why it's locked. And what does AG mean?
Silver. Camille with Hagar Anderson and Chantilly Hildegard. Okay,
We
take a picture
need
of
some
that.
of that. Yeah.
Okay, and then yep, periodic table. Do we have to click?
Maybe,
on AG?
yeah. She.
Nope.
So the game knows.
She is not interested. Okay, we can't look at the other books. Can we look at this picture?
Pipe puzzle.
I remember one of the pipe puzzles in this game being an actual nightmare because it's timed.
Oh, yep. Yeah, because it's like overheating or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that'll work. If you do the bottom one.
And then
I guess then you leave that one kind of hanging. Maybe it does go down. I mean, like, sideways down.
like that.
Yeah, that way. Yeah.
There, all done.
God, that's satisfying.
Yeah. So what happened?
There's like another one. There's like more than one, and nothing happens until the last one, I think.
Okay.
Eliza Sandberger.
Okay. This is another doll, I think.
Yeah.
Decorative red ribbon.
Another gemstone.
We can't
She won't let us take yet.
take any of them.
I guess because we don't need them yet. And then there's something on that table, yeah.
JH. For Jake Hurley, obviously. Must be Jake's insignia.
Okay.
Okay. But we can't play the Leaping Lizards game?
Not yet.
Bummer.
Can we not
Why
get
is our
this
phone
much?
lit up? No, I don't think we can. Ooh. Oh. Okay.
Oh, all right. Okay. Thanks. Okay, let's see.
An old scale. Strange.
Right.
It seems
I
to
don't
be
think we
built
can
into
get
the
into
wall.
next room yet.
Those symbols look like the ones I saw in that sampler.
We need like a bunch of them.
Right. Okay. Your phone's still lit up.
I know, that's annoying. Okay, there it goes. Do we have a checklist?
Um.
Yeah!
Yes. Okay, see if and how those symbols on the stove are related to those symbols on the sampler in Camille's car. They have something to do with the scale in Jake's car, maybe. Okay, yes. Figure out why a square and a duck are on the stove and if they have anything to do with opening it.
So we just need to get them lit up. We don't need like a stone for every one. Do you remember?
Right, but I think we need more than 2.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
From what I remember. Something tells me the scale that's built into the wall in Jake's train car does more than just weigh things. Find out what. Isn't this Tino's train car?
It's talking about the like historical people.
Oh,
Not-
what's his name?
yeah.
John. Oh, his name's John. Okay.
Yeah.
Connect the pipes in Jake's car so whatever's supposed to flow through them can. Figure out
We
how
did
to
that one.
open.
I'm done with that.
Oh, okay. You don't have to do all of them. Figure out how to open that old cigar box in what used to be Jake's train car. It must have something to do with the letters AG, but what? Find something that will unscrew those strange-looking bolts that are on the grate in Camille's car. Go to the piano in Camille's car and see what happens when I play the tune that's on the sheet music I found. To open the lock in the sleeping car, I need to dial in 4 numbers. Figure out which 4 numbers. Find out what the deal is with those colored blocks in that drawer in the sleeping car. Are you supposed to make a pattern with them? If so, what pattern? Which colored blocks?
I don't know. I'm not sure what they're talking about. We both missed that, I guess.
Or did we do the...
I'm done with that.
Oh, we
Yeah.
did it.
It was the flower thing. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Head toward the front of the train and see whoever's driving this train knows about Laura's disappearance.
Check.
Try.
Talk to Tino and see what he picked up from the floor of the dining car right after Lori disappeared.
I'm done with that.
Find Lori. Call Bess and George and let them know what's
I'm
going
done with
on.
that.
When a task has been completed, remember to check it off.
I'm done with that.
I love a list.
Same. Okay.
I wish that the senior detectives, like, I get why they don't give you a list, but I wish they give you, like, really, really vague things so that you can still check them off.
Yeah, like just something really minimal.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so we need that tool. I feel like that's one of the next things we need.
Yeah.
Teddy Eberhardt.
Thank you for giving the doll we call Teddy Eberhardt. Okay.
Yeah. How do you feel about me having a walkthrough up just so we don't get stuck?
Oh, that's fine. We've done
Yeah.
this the hard way where we got stuck for forever. So
We were really stuck in this game. I remember being really stuck.
so yeah, you
Okay.
can have stuff pulled up. to keep us in line.
Oh, go to the kitchen car. There's. Look at the. Oh, there's a sink.
Yeah. Look at what?
Look at the like valve thing. I think the wheel. You're not open unless. Oh, all pipes. I have a feeling not. We haven't done all the pipes.
No, yeah.
Okay.
So there's the square and the duck. We can't do that yet. Let's just talk to these two.
What have you got?
Nothing. Okay.
See you later.
Nothing.
If you need anything, just let us know.
Another gemstone.
I feel like that's something that had us stuck for a while.
Did we look at the portrait of Jake and Camille in the bar car?
Is this Jake and his wife?
Yes. From what I've read, Camille loved to sing and dance, even in death, apparently. Jake reportedly told people that after she died, he would sometimes see strange glowing lights outside the windows at night, bobbing gracefully alongside the train as if dancing with it. He said he found the sight very
kinda
comforting.
Nice.
I
I
don't hate
suspect
that as
normal
much as
people would
a
have
lot
found
of
it
the ghost stuff.
terrifying.
And it's not in the train with you, so it's like, I don't know, it's silly.
Right? It's less scary. It was good, Avery. Thank you for asking. We had to
What?
this time. Disney.
Disney! It was awesome. The scavenger hunt that they put together for me was really fun.
More questions?
The others on the train, John Gray and that police detective, do you know them very well?
I don't know them at all. Needless to say, I don't watch television, so I've never even seen Mr. Gray before. Although I do know that his profession, if you can call it that, is rife with crackpots. As for Mr. Balducci, from what I've read, his success in solving those robberies was less a matter of talent and more a matter of being in the right place at precisely the right time.
In other words, you don't think he deserves all the attention he's getting?
No. You and those two Boy Scouts you're with would make better detectives. Is that all, dear?
I'll let you get back to your writing.
My publisher thanks you.
Loved seeing Lauren chug tiki drinks. It was a moment.
We didn't get to be in there very long because that bar is like insane with the wait time. So
Yeah.
it like bumped right up to our dinner reservation, and it was way too strong to be chugging it.
It was so we waited for like 2.5 hours to get in that bar, and then it was their drinks. There was like 2 or 3 different kinds of rum and a liqueur.
Yeah,
in our drinks, very strong.
it was good, but it was strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we don't want to miss our dinner reservation, so.
And I'm glad we didn't, because it was good.
It was good food, yeah.
And then we all had a drink with dinner, and we got pretty toasty.
Yep. We went into Magic Kingdom less than sober. At the Polynesian Resort, which is the same place where the tiki bar is.
Yeah.
Lauren and I each had it was like a roasted red quinoa bowl kind of a thing with charred broccolini and stuff on it. It was, oh my god, it was so good.
And then we shared some nigiri sushi, which was really good. And we all were convinced that we were tasting a brand new vegetable on this piece of sushi, and we were trying to figure it out. And then we eventually asked the waitress, and she said it was a carrot.
Okay, first of all, I think I would come to the same same conclusion totally sober because it was, first of all, it was a yellow
It
carrot.
was weird. Yeah. It
And
didn't
I've
look
had
like
yellow
a carrot.
carrots before, but the yellow carrots that I've had before tasted like carrots. They did not taste like this. And this carrot, which was just like a raw, like shaved piece of carrot. Tessa's here. She said it looked like a slice of mango. Yes. Okay.
Tessa, hi.
It did look like a slice of mango. And Lauren took a bite of it and she was like, it tastes like apple pie. And I thought she was insane. And I took a bite and it did taste like apple pie. It had like that
like cinnamon
sweet
apple
flavor to it. And yeah, it was like almost the texture of an apple. We were so confused. I was
it
like,
was wild.
This is, I don't know what this is.
And then we asked her to go, like, ask the chef what it is. She comes back and is like, oh, it's a carrot.
I was like, okay.
She probably thought we were ridiculous.
She probably thought we were so freaking dumb. I swear I've never had a carrot like that in my life. And I have had yellow carrot before. Oh my god. If it were me, I would have been like, Jesus, get these girls out of here.
What's up?
Tessa, was your food
Thanks
good
for the
too?
chat.
Come back anytime.
I'm reading through to see what we do next.
I feel like we need that screwdriver because we need to access the other pipes in order to get that going. Right?
Actually, I think we can do the weight puzzle now.
Oh yeah? Okay. I'll try. The potatoes were definitely blissful. They looked blissful. Okay, so... Are you sure we can do this? Because those are the options. I have done all of the variations.
You've done all the things.
Both on one on each. Both on this. Oh!
That square in that duck looked very familiar.
Okay.
Square and duck. Okay.
We can't do the square and the duck. Yay!
Oh, this room!
This room!
Talk about Nancy handling machinery she is not qualified to use.
Okay, yes. Just
this whole room.
I forgot how wild this room is.
Okay. Yeah. I think something that we did.
If those are
Tessa, do you
candle
hear how much
holders,
better
they're
my voice
very
sounds?
strange.
I got a microphone for Christmas.
They're not candle holders, Nancy.
Wonder what's supposed
We
to
drink
go
when
here.
she says something dumb.
Probably should. I feel like for me that goes in with the like, it's locked.
Yeah.
Because normal people just try a door and are like, oh, okay.
Looks like I need to enter 8 letters into this thing.
Oh, God.
The question is, which 8 letters?
That is a good question.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, did we miss anything in here? Because I feel like we can't do much with this machinery yet.
We need to find a tool chest.
Tool chest. Oh, is it in here?
Okay.
I thought we would take that, but apparently not.
Oh, looks like to make this thing, whatever it is, I'm going to need a spyglass, a
Thirsty
pickaxe, and a
nose.
lamp. Citrine, amethyst, zircon. Those
Thirsty?
are all gemstones, I think.
Interesting. Yes, Avery, we were at Trader Sam's. That is
Yes,
That
they
is
were.
were. Read the video. The drinks are so good.
Silver. What do all those colors have to do with silver?
Not we gonna drive to Orlando. I mean, I have literally driven to Orlando for
Just to go there.
just to go to that bar.
Yep. It's worth it.
It's so good.
Although I was talking to my mom about it, and I was like really reflecting on now it's virtual and they give you 15 minutes to get back. So the tables just sit empty for a really long time. And so no one's ordering drinks. So the fun stuff isn't happening quite as often.
Yeah. It's true. It is less common. Than
And
instead
I
of,
told-
like, constant.
Right, yeah. And I told Zach about it, and he's like, oh, and I bet the waiters are getting less tips because of that. And I'm like, oh, that's true.
Probably. Although they're probably
Yeah.
making bank on their tips. Just
I mean, you're right.
'cause
Those drinks are expensive.
Ugh.
Okay, so we got the thing.
Got a new weight. Does that allow us to do the duck in the square? Maybe.
Oh, we could do that tile puzzle. I never really understood how this worked.
I don't either, and I remember last time just kind of putting shit
Yeah.
everywhere.
We just doodled around.
Cause like, what is happening here? Why is that that? Cause this is 5, that's 10. So this is 9, 10, 11, and 7. That equals -4, which I mean, this makes sense, but what does that have to do with this? I don't know.
We don't have all of the weights.
Okay.
I still don't get it, but we can't do it yet. There was a puzzle in the other room that we could do.
Okay, let's go back.
It's on the other door.
This thing?
Yep.
Is it just a pattern puzzle?
It's a memory puzzle. You gotta drive there, Avery. You can get them. Just be prepared to wait around that hotel for a couple hours. Which, I mean, it's a nice hotel. It's a lot of memory. Oh god.
Okay, so bum, 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 bum. Damn it.
Oh,
Oh my god.
it was up.
Oh, up first?
Yeah. Up. All the way down. Middle. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Lori?
Oh my
Hello.
gosh!
Sorry.
I never thought you'd be the one to find me. No offense. Nadine?
Nancy.
We're the only one that
Nancy
actually
Drew.
cares about you.
Well, as you can
so-
see, I wasn't really spirited away by
This
ghosts or
outfit.
anything. That bookshelf in the dining car, you
would be a
step on
good
this thing
Halloween
in the
costume,
floor
but it
in
would be
there,
the most
and it
niche
slides
Halloween
open.
costume.
I practiced
It would
disappearing
be,
for
people
weeks.
would be like, "Are you just like a preppy white girl?" I'd be like,
From 2003.
yes, I am.
Indeed I am.
So it was just all for show?
Well, not entirely. See, here's the deal. My dad wound up with this train when he bought out Noram Shipping. They'd been storing it in this old warehouse outside St. Louis for so long that everybody had just forgotten about it. Anyway, after like mass begging on my part, Dad had the train restored to working condition and got me an engineer
Restored?
and track
Oh my
permits
God,
and
you know
all
how
that
much
other
money that would
stuff
be?
until
So
finally,
much
here we
money.
are, on our way to find out what happened to Jake Hurley.
My dad is restoring the Mustang that he bought when he was 16.
Whoa.
Uh,
How does he still have that?
it has been sitting in the garage my entire life.
Wow.
He bought it in Japan when his family was stationed in Japan. And I think he bought it, he's told me before how much he bought it for. And it was like me, I don't remember how much. It was like a negligible amount of money.
Wow.
Compared to today's. And then, yeah, he like paid to ship it back over here when they moved back. And it's been sitting in our garage ever since. And I've ridden in it once, but for most of my life, it has not ran. And
that's his latest project.
He's finally like restoring it, and whew, he's probably like at least quadrupled the price he originally paid for it. I'm sure it's well past that because it was such a small fee to begin with.
Yeah,
so much money because it needs new life.
I think you were going to explain why you kidnapped yourself.
Oh, right. Well, see, I was one of the first people in like 100 years to set foot on this train, okay? Everything was just the way it was when Jake disappeared. Except I also found this. It's a letter that Jake wrote in 1901 to his niece back east. He was real paranoid about claim jumpers, which is why he never told anyone where his mine was.
Snooping
but
around
he was
this
also
train.
afraid something would happen to him, and no one would ever know where it was. So he wrote this letter to his only living relative, Ruth Kensington. Here, take it.
You want me to have it?
Okay.
Why?
Because we found you.
Because you found me. See, in that letter, Jake tells Ruth that everything she needs to figure out where his mine is on this train. He also warns her that his wife's spirit is on the train too, which kind of creeps me out. But the thing is, to find Jake's lost mine, we need the train.
How do you know this Ruth person didn't find the mine decades ago?
Mostly because I found that letter in the wastebasket. It was like she'd gotten so ticked off, trying to follow her nutty uncle's clues, that she finally said to heck with the whole thing.
Poor job.
Yes.
There's always like someone who's been trying to figure it out for so long, and you're like, you guys were stupid.
Yeah.
You dedicated your whole life.
So you want me to try to figure out where the mine is?
Uh-huh. As for the other people on board, if you want to show them that letter, go ahead. It's totally up to you. We're going to Copper Gorge because that's where Jake buried Camille, so I figured his mine might be somewhere around there too. But if you think we need to go somewhere else, you just let me know and I'll have the engineer take us there.
Trains are kind of limited to the track, honeybee.
If you want to go somewhere else, we'll just turn.
How come you didn't try to find the mine yourself?
Get there.
Maybe I did. Or maybe I just thought letting other people try to find it would be a good excuse to throw a party. I like parties.
She doesn't have any friends. If you look at it in the context of her not having any friends, it's kind of sad.
That's true.
How well do you know your guests?
I know, like, I feel like you're
not. Well, I don't know you or those
to
Harvey
like
guys
her,
at all.
Hardy. Frank and Joe Hardy.
I don't think we
Whatever.
would be BFFs.
I didn't know John Gray before
There
this
are way
either,
more annoying
but I
characters.
love his show, and I figured
And
he'd
she
jump at the
accepted that we
chance to
found her and,
investigate
like,
an honest-to-goodness
like, yep, you're the
haunted
one.
train.
You know,
And now that
so
someone
that's
has
nice.
finally found me, I can finally go meet him for real.
What about Tino Balducci?
I met Tino right after he got famous for solving those
I
robberies.
forget. They-
Inviting him here for
an
this was a
affair that they
no-brainer.
covered up.
I mean, what an awesome detective. And those piercing eyes of his, you just know his mind's in there going 90 miles an hour.
Didn't he, like, two-time her or, like...
Yeah, he messed up at some point. And I think in this game, he's like, just tell her that I want her back.
How well do you know Charlena Purcell?
No.
I just know
He
her
seems
from
a
her
lot
books,
older than her.
which are so
Right,
good.
yeah, there's also,
In
like,
fact,
kind of
I just
weird-
started reading her latest one,
Yeah,
The
fair.
Moon Tells No Lies. See, what I'd really, really like to do is write romance novels. Everybody who knows me says I'd be really good at it. In fact, a while back, I sent Charlena some ideas, just to see what she
was a
thought.
bitch.
And?
She hated them.
Yeah.
I'll come back later.
You go, girl.
You go, girl.
Thanks. So
Ugh.
supportive.
The dolls.
Locked, naturally. Wonder how you open it.
How do you open it? Is there, like, a...
You can look down.
Wonder how you're supposed to get this open.
Oh, okay. Oh, drink.
Oh, damn it.
I can use this to open that grate I saw in Camille's car.
Okay, we'll take that. What's these? Oh my god.
It's like, I think we need a list of words.
Okay.
Or I see, because I can like see silver, but like,
Right.
I feel like we would need to know what we're looking for.
That's right. Wait, I think we have to fill them all in.
Yeah, eventually, right?
Yeah, okay. I vaguely remember that.
Looks like a dance floor, maybe?
Oh, right.
Right. 2 left shoes or something. Those don't look like shoes. Oh gosh.
Okay, yeah, we don't have this.
No.
What about this thing? Is this anything? No.
That's, yeah.
It's so creepy how you can like kind of see the dolls through this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't love that. Okay.
Look at the letter that she gave us.
The 3rd of November, 1901, from somewhere in Colorado. Dear Ruth, I know that we've never met, but now that your father, my estranged brother, is gone, you are my only living relative. I am writing to you to tell you about my mine before I, too, depart this earth, and its location is lost forever. I cannot tell you outright where it is, lest this epistle fall into the wrong hands, but with the information which follows, and with my train, which shall be yours upon my death, I promise that you'll be able to find it. First, you will need a map. To obtain it, know that my travels have taken me all over this great country, to towns which can be difficult to find, to Calico, Silverado, and Central City, to Dodge City, Virginia City, and Tombstone. To locate the mine on the map, you'll need my projector. When it comes to placing the stones, you'll need to ask someone who holds a warm place in my heart. I have stored his name accordingly, but to retrieve his name, you'll have to give the dolls an order. This will require looking inside Camille's dancing shoes for the name of their maker, and wearing the shoes as you perform her favorite step on the dance floor. As for my beloved Camille, she has 4 words for you, words which, when translated into numbers and used in combination, will help power my projector.
4 words.
But alas, she's taken them with her to her grave. So go to Copper Gorge, Colorado, and pay your respects, and let some of her goodness rub off on you. I promised Camille that this train would always be her home. In return, she promised to never leave, and indeed she never has. People say I'm crazy, but I've seen her, and heard her, and feel her presence on the train even today, 20 years after her untimely death. So above all else, my dear niece, let nothing happen to my train. It holds wonderful things. Kindest regards, Jake Hurley.
Okay, so we need to take a picture of this.
Yes.
Okay. I'll do that first. So, we need...
I wonder if this has something to do with that list of cities Jake mentioned in his letter to Ruth.
You don't say.
Okay, so Calico.
You can go diagonal.
Oh, do they have to touch each other?
Yeah, I think, yeah. Calico is on the far left. Yep.
Okay, Silverado.
That one's on the bottom. I saw that. Ooh, interesting. Virginia City. So,
Oh, you do
CITY.
have
Yeah.
What?
I wonder if you have to do them in order.
Oh, maybe. So, Central City.
It's the... Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's our 5-letter combination.
What?
Or that other thing. I don't even remember what it was on.
Strange.
I think
All
I
that's
was
left
in
is a
the-
jumble of letters.
Machinery cart?
Yes.
That must be the projector Jake mentioned in his letter to Ruth.
You don't say.
So over here? Where is it?
On the map, the flat thing.
The what?
I think.
The flat thing.
Yeah.
This?
I'm just kidding.
It was a pull out.
Oh, was it?
I thought it was like a handle that we pulled down on something. This.
Oh, that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
N B R Z T B
B as in baby?
Boy.
Boy.
Yeah, baby. A and B.
Quite a noise.
Right.
Okay.
Jake's mind must be somewhere on this map, but where?
Where indeed. Okay.
Where?
Okay. We have this screwdriver tool. Can we do anything else in here?
No, the screwdriver sounds good. I will also say, because we would never have really thought of it, but we have to call Bess and ask something. Because I know it's so weird with these games that sometimes they're important to the story and like progressing, and sometimes they're just there for
It's
hints.
just for you to talk to or hints, yeah.
Hello?
Hi, Bess.
Hey, what's going on?
Lori gave me a letter that Jake Hurley wrote to his niece, telling her how to find his gold mine.
If Lori knows where the mine is, why doesn't she just make a beeline for it?
Because apparently Jake was too paranoid to tell his niece outright where it was. So he filled the letter with all these weird, obscure clues. I don't think Lori could make heads or tails of them. I know I barely can.
Sounds like when he lost his wife, Jake may have lost a few marbles as well.
I get the definite feeling Lori Gerard has a thing for Tino Balducci.
I saw him on TV once. He is
Oh,
very cute.
shoot.
Lori thinks he's the world's greatest detective.
And you don't?
I think we didn't trigger something.
I think he thinks he is.
I I think the only reason he's famous is because he looks good on camera. Well, I think you two are being way too hard on him. Just because he's good looking doesn't mean he can't also be smart. In fact, maybe Balducci tries to look incompetent on purpose. You know, to give the bad guys a false sense of security so it's easier to catch
You're
them.
giving
Ever
him
think of
so
that?
much credit.
That's a
No,
lot
Bess,
of
I
credit.
never did. Well, there you go.
This is how pretty people go through life.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay, so go back and look at the dancing shoes. I
Avery
guess.
said hot people have it so hard. Yeah, there's like something in the shoes, right?
Yeah, and I think now that we've read the
name
letter,
of the shoes
she
is so
says something.
faded I can't tell what it is. Maybe Bess and George can help me figure out who made them.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, Bess.
Hey, what's going on?
The name of the company that made Jake's wife's dancing shoes is too faded to read. But to find Jake's mine, I need to know what it is.
Hey, I know what you can do. Take a picture of them with your cell phone, then send it to us, and we'll check them out for you.
But I thought you guys had to paint Bess's room.
Boring. Besides, we're going to have to take a break soon because we're almost out of paint. Probably because Bess has gotten more on me than she has on the walls. Anyway, send us a picture of the shoes via cell phone and we'll get right on it.
Ah, you guys are the greatest.
I know. Need anything else?
I knew.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Remember, when in doubt, call.
Imagine being like best friends with your cousin, but also with a sleuth that travels the world and calls you for advice.
That'd be very fun.
It would be fun.
Can we like zoom out? No?
I guess, yeah, just those. Oh, did you actually take it?
I thought so.
I think you have to go to the menu. Yeah, okay. Cool.
Alright. Let's go. It was in John's room, right?
The grill?
Yeah, the one that
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That tool I saw in the caboose. I bet that's what you use to unscrew these bolts.
You don't say. Oh.
More pipes to connect.
We got a pipe puzzle. Oh, I forgot. This is why this one sucked. Hold
Here
up.
we go.
How the fuck? Oh, we're on Junior.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
That's why. That's
I remember
why.
being on that for a long time.
It was like instantly. Okay.
I wonder if we can turn on the thing now.
Maybe we can. I thought I remember there being 3 of them.
Oh, really?
Because I think there's one behind here.
Oh, you're right. You're totally right.
And it was that 3rd one that really got us, because that was the timed one.
The time. Ah, okay.
So in this letter, it talks about give the dolls an order. Look inside Camille's dancing shoes to name their maker. And wearing the shoes, perform her favorite step. 4 words for you. Words which, when translated into numbers and used in combination, will help power my projector. I feel like that is the combination to that final grill. And then whatever goes through the things. So we need to go to Copper Gorge. So do we need to tell Lori we want to go to Copper Gorge?
That's where we're already heading.
Okay.
I'm done with that.
We did that.
Check. 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 I'm done with that.
Okay, so we need to talk to Frank and Joe to find out who made Camille's dancing shoes.
Finish that. I'm done with that.
We have not got all that.
Keep your eyes peeled for more of those slugs.
I guess we could check that off.
This.
Check.
I think the cigar box is next.
Is that the one with the colors on it?
Yes.
So we would need the gemstones?
No, we already have what we need for it. It's like a piece of paper we picked up, I think. The other one? Like the... Yeah. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know that we do. Or unless it's on the blue thing. It might be on the blue thing.
We didn't pick it up. We needed to take a picture of it, I guess. In the caboose, there was a like paper in the tool chest that we... In the toolbox, like right when you get in there. Or maybe that's in the... No, it's not in this. Wait, it says
This is the caboose, right? I thought. Maybe not. Does it mean it's in here? I thought I took pictures of stuff in here. Probably need this though. Let me take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where the diagram was. That's it.
Silver is orange, blue, green, red, purple, yellow. So it's just that.
So, I don't know. So we started at orange, I guess. Probably exit back out. Yeah.
Okay, blue.
Yay!
What's that do?
I don't know.
Don't know what it is. What's in here?
Wilson carbide and acetylene works.
I've sent you 2 lamps, which you should receive by the end of the month. When you get them, simply place carbide in the lower chamber, water in the upper chamber, then use the built-in flint lighter to ignite the jet of gas, which results...
In doing that.
Okay. As you'll see, the carbide lamp is an exceedingly practical device, especially for people in your dark and dangerous line of work. Would that you or I had invented it. In your last letter, you sounded quite despondent, old chum. I suppose this is understandable in view of your failure to strike it rich. But I am living proof of how quickly misfortune can turn into good fortune. Little did I suspect 5 years ago that my attempt to produce aluminum would instead produce calcium carbide, or that calcium carbide, when placed in water, would release acetylene. Yet suddenly I was the surprised but happy owner of the patent for an inexpensive way of manufacturing an extremely flammable gas. Just as I became wealthy when I sold that patent, I have no doubt that you, too, will someday be
Always your friend, Thomas Wilson.
Rewarded for your efforts. Continue to keep me apprised of your adventures, dear friend, and never ever give up. May the lamp I sent you soon light your way to the gold you seek.
Looks like a pattern for some kind of dance step. Maybe I'd better keep this.
Maybe we
You don't say.
Alright.
Okay.
Real quick, while we're up this way.
We can also, just so you know, start collecting.
What
Oh
is
my
that?
gosh!
The ghosty.
Hello, Camille. Camilla, whatever your name is. Cute. We can start collecting the gemstones.
Okay, cool. Oh, there's one right here. Hello. Right here.
It said no.
Hey, Nancy,
What's with the Cheshire Cat grin?
you found Lori.
Oh,
Yep,
right. I
she's
forgot
holed
we-
up in the
We
caboose.
did
And as a
find
reward for
Lori.
finding her, she let me have
Anyone
this. It's a letter from Jake to his niece in which he leaves clues telling her how to find his mine. Only the clues are extremely obtuse.
You found Lori, you got the letter with all the clues. Guess you don't need us anymore.
Oh, Joe,
You're
quit
right.
pouting.
We
Want any help?
never did.
Are
my
you
dear.
kidding? You bet I
No,
do.
But we love
Now
you.
you're talking.
It stands to reason that the only person other than Jake who had to have known the location of Jake's mine was the engineer on Jake's train.
Very true.
Not necessarily. Jake might not have told him the exact location. Maybe he just had him drop him off somewhere nearby.
Well, still, we'd be way ahead of the game if we knew
While
where
you
that
talk to them,
drop-off
I'm
point
gonna run
was.
and grab a snack.
Okay.
If the engineer had any surviving relatives, we may be in luck.
The guy died more than 100 years ago. How are we supposed to find out his name?
Maybe Charlena What's-Her-Face could tell us how to go about it.
Good idea, Frank. I'll ask her.
Okay, so we have to talk to her.
I found a diagram for some kind of contraption that Jake designed, but to operate it, you need his pickaxe and some kind of lamp or lantern, which it looks like he gave to somebody named Buell.
Buell? Joe, show her!
Show her what?
That old picture we found!
Okay.
We found this on the bookshelf. See? Buell's Supplies and Pawn Shop. That's gotta be the same Buell Jake gave his axe and lantern to.
Yeah, 100 years ago. And the guy was a pawnbroker, Frank. The stuff's probably long gone.
Or maybe it's still somewhere in Copper Gorge.
Well, that's where we're headed, so let's just hope for the best.
Right.
See you in a bit.
If you need anything, just let us know.
Don't know. Is there any other gems up here? I don't know.
Yes?
I found Lori. She's in the caboose. You were right. She disappeared because she wanted to see which of us would find her first.
No one else was
And
even
you
looking. So
won.
it was bound to be us.
Congratulations.
Did you know that Lori wants to be a romance novelist?
Doesn't everyone?
Come on.
Do you think she could do it?
No. Could we please talk about something a little more
She's
pleasant?
so rude.
How would I go about finding out the name of Jake's train engineer?
If you're smart, you'd ask me. And because my work is going surprisingly well, during my next break, I'll log on to my archives at home and see what I can turn up.
That'd be great, thank you.
Whoever invented the cellular modem, that's whom you should thank, dear.
Okay.
Well, I'll let you go.
Let me know if you run across anything juicy.
Okay. I mean, Lori is most definitely a nepotism baby because she could definitely it's true. Yeah, I feel like she's one of those people who just like has stuff handed to her like that.
I put my headphones back on and immediately heard that, and I thought you said Lauren.
Oh,
And I was like,
we
what?
should talking you. You just get everything handed to you, Lauren. Okay. I'm gonna try calling Bess back.
Yeah.
Hello?
Me again. Just checking to see whether you were able to find out the name of those dancing shoes yet.
Your wish is our command, but hang on to your hat. The name is a real mouthful. The shoes were made by Chaussette Chateauyantes, Chaussette Chatoyantes. That's French for shimmering socks. Apparently, if you were into dancing in the 1870s, that was the company to get your shoes from.
Chaussette Chateauyantes. Got it.
This
Thanks,
has
guys.
to do with the dolls.
Thanks for letting us help.
I
Talk to you
vaguely
soon.
remember
Okay.
that. Okay. I think we can do the dancing thing now. Right? So we've got the shoes and the little dance step diagram.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh shit.
Somebody must have thrown the emergency brake.
The question is, did somebody throw the brake? Or something?
Oh, Joe, now you sound like Lori.
Hey, I was the first one on the scene, and I saw no one.
Who was the next person on the scene?
John Gray.
Conductor
Then
dude.
Balducci came bursting through one door while Frank and the engineer came through the other. Boy, was that guy ticked. He said the train could have derailed. He reset the brake, muttered a few choice words, then headed
would
back
be
to the
horrible.
engine just as you and Lori showed up.
Everybody was there except Charlena. I don't think she left her laptop the whole time.
Unbothered.
There's no way Lori could have thrown the brake unless she had someone else do it.
The question is, why? What did she or anybody else stand to gain by stopping the train?
That's a
Answer?
good point.
Nothing. Which is why I think we should at least consider the possibility that something less human in nature may be at work here.
Ah, Joe.
I'm going to see if Balducci's done dusting for fingerprints. Catch you later.
Oh, Joe.
Ah, Joe. You beautiful dumbass, you. That's the energy he said that with. Okay. Alright, well. Make our journey again.
I get the little animation between cars, but it's kind of long.
Yeah, it's fine if you just need to go once, but if you're going all the way down the train, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got? Okay. Left foot forward here.
Yeah. Right?
Did I do that wrong?
Click.
6, 7.
It seems like it.
Oh, yeah. 8.
Oh, click on the.
I think I did look it up.
Really? I thought you were doing. 2.
Yeah.
Oh, the right foot.
It's the right foot. Which I cannot put this back down now.
Ugh.
That's annoying. Okay.
Yay. Oh gosh, why?
They're so awful.
Ooh, okay.
Guess Camille liked to collect dolls.
Okay.
Okay.
So, last time we messed this up because we did not realize that it's the first and last initial of each doll that makes the word. And we kept trying to like just do one or the other, but it's both.
Okay, so like it's supposed to be like chaussettes something, right?
Yeah.
That's probably it, right?
Josettes Chateauyantes.
Let me take a picture of that. Alright, I'm also going to need because gotta write all this down again.
I know.
I like this puzzle quite a lot. It just does take some like doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So it needs to spell chaussettes. So we need a CH first. We have Naughty Tina. I'm gonna write these down.
Yeah. NT.
Yeah. Naughty Tina.
And then maybe the defining characteristic or something.
Yeah, so it says Camille burst tears at the sight of the crack, which now traverses Naughty Tina's face.
Okay.
That's easy enough. Cracked face. Krollmeister, thank you for giving the doll we call Teddy Eberhardt a home. Krollmeister doll works. It doesn't have any distinguishing things, but he said boy.
Oh, okay.
Camille called this one Eliza Sandberger. Received of Jake Hurley for the price of $3.73. One Krollmeister doll with decorative red ribbon. On the 16th day of June, 1880. Camille with Hagar Anderson.
What's the last name of the guy from Siberia that we're looking for? Is it also Curlmeister? Why am I thinking that?
I don't know.
I'll look it up. I'm sorry. Continue.
And Chantilly Hildegard. He's got like black or dark suspenders on. And she's got pigtails and a dress. Okay. Thomason has the blue-black ribbon. Sickly
No,
Sarah.
what? It's Barlberg. I don't know why I thought that.
One green, one blue. Hi. How many dolls are there total?
11.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Too many of them.
I
Yeah.
know, it's ridiculous.
A Tale of Two Dolls. Ill-tempered Edna could not get her way. She couldn't get Alice to come out and play. I can't, I'm too tired is what Alice said. I just want to go straight back to bed. Edna angrily tried to make herself heard, but all that came out was one two-part word. Why, I'm not your mother, yawning, Alice replied. So she's sleepy? Till Edna the Terrible finally gave up and cried. Crying, and she says a word.
Yawning Alice and Edna the Terrible.
Edna the Terrible and yawning Alice. Okay. So we just need 2 more.
We don't have the last 2?
I don't have pictures or anything of them. Of stuff talking about them.
Name off the ones that we have.
Naughty Tina, Teddy Eberhardt, Eliza Sandberger, Hagar Anderson, Chantilly Hildegard, Thomason, Sickly Sarah, Edna the Terrible, and Yawning Alice.
Okay, so we need... There's one to find in the dining car.
Okay.
And one in Jake's car.
I guess it doesn't really matter what the last one, right?
That's true. Yep.
Sadie Crawford.
Have 2 left feet.
Okay.
It looks like there's something behind this painting, but I can't seem to move it. An eagle. Where else have I seen an eagle?
Cross stitch. Okay. So, if we need to spell Chaussette Chapoyant,
Very long name.
it's a very long name. So it's, she is H-A-T-O-Y-A-N-T-E-S. Okay. Yeah, I feel like my notes in my other notebook, it's like 2 full pages because we kept doing it wrong.
We kept doing it wrong. It took us forever to do this.
So long. Okay, so CH is Chantilly Hildegard with the pigtails and the dress. Okay, none of them seem to have pigtails.
Is it the one on like the third one? That pigtail?
Mama!
Nope.
Oh no.
No.
I think that's the crying.
That is Edna the Terrible. So she's 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th doll. Okay. Red Ribbon Doll is 3. Naughty Tina has a cracked face. God, it's so awful. What is this doll's thing?
He's got like gems.
I don't know. Okay. The Hagar Anderson, HA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 5 from the last. 2, 3, 4, 5. He goes there. Who are you? You're the one green eye, one blue eye. This is Sickly Sarah. She's 3rd. Wait. She's 3rd. Red Ribbon is very last. Two left feet. Sadie Crawford. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doll. Okay. This is crying. Oh no, this is the one whose hair got ripped out. Thomason. TE 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so
You mean Thomasina?
Maybe. The picture I took was blurry.
Oh, okay. It's TO, not TE.
Oh, TO. Okay, so she would be 4th from last here. Okay, so TO is in place. So Thomason's good. Naughty Tina is
1 from last?
Yeah, she goes here. Eliza Sandberger has the red ribbon. She's supposed to be last, yep. Hagar Anderson has black suspenders. He's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, he's in the right spot. Chantilly Hildegard, don't know for sure. Sickly Sarah, 1 green eye, 1 blue eye. Which one was she? This one? No. This one? No. This one? No. What the hell? This one.
That one.
Sickly Sarah's 3rd. She's in the right spot. Edna the Terrible is crying. She's 4th.
Mama!
Yep. Alice is sleepy. Yawning Alice is sleepy.
There's one with her eyes closed, the second one.
Oh, her. Okay. She goes here. Sadie Crawford has 2 left feet. And she's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So,
think,
the second one is supposed to be a male.
mm,
Teddy Eberhardt. So I think it's
the
him.
second one.
Or I'm sorry, the fifth one. He's where he's supposed
Okay.
to be. Teddy. And then Chantilly Hildegard. And the Mystery Last Doll.
I think,
So it's the first two that are just mixed.
yeah. Mm. Yay!
Yeah,
That was way less painless.
so much less painful. What did we... Is that it? Whatever. So we can do the square duck thing now?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Or the stove, yeah.
Do they just need to be even? Is that
No.
I do not understand what is happening with this. It does not make sense to me. Okay.
Okay, so apparently like because these are numbers 3 and 4 on this, like the square needs 3 slugs and the duck needs 4 slugs. Which I don't know how we would have known that.
Wild. Okay, so the square needs like 3 on
Do you
one
have
side
the picture of that quilt?
No.
With the like symbols and numbers on it?
No.
We didn't take a picture? Okay, we need to look at that.
Okay, yeah, no, I did not take a picture.
Yeah, so the duck is 1 and the square is 4. But you have to use 4 things for the duck and 3 for the square.
You do what?
Because every time you put on a slug, it moves the little arrow. So you need 4 slugs on there to get to the duck, and it has to be 1 at 1 when that happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 slugs. So, but for the square, it just needs to be at 1. And
The
have
square is
3 slugs.
4.
I thought you just said
The
the
square
duck
is 4 and the duck is 1.
So
Sorry if I said that backwards.
So the duck, this number needs to have 1, or there needs to be 1 slug?
The number in the middle needs to be 1 and it needs to have 4 slugs.
Okay. Got it.
Oh, we got the square.
But we have to get them at the same time.
No.
Then why does the square one go away?
I guess we do have
There. With any luck, I just
nice.
opened the stove in the dining car.
It's a dumb puzzle. I don't like it. Oh, shit. Okay. So that opened the stove?
Yeah. Shit, I think.
James Thurston.
Hereby agree to pay James Thurston the sum of $9 a week plus room and board in return for his services as the engineer of my train. Okay. What do we do with that?
Yeah, talk to them.
Nancy, you missed it.
Missed what?
The argument of the century.
Joe, he's exaggerating.
Aw, come on, you heard them. They were ready to tear each other to shreds.
Who?
Charlena and Lori.
All we heard was the tail end of it, and unfortunately, we really couldn't make out what they were saying.
So you don't know what they were arguing about?
No,
We're
But
right
whatever
next
it was,
door.
both of them were absolutely out of their minds, livid.
and it would probably be a good idea to find out why.
Let me look into it. I'll talk to you later, okay?
You know where to find us.
Yay. Hello, Charlena.
More questions?
Would you like to see the letter that Lori gave
don't
me
even
as a
think she does.
reward for finding
She's
her?
like,
And she's
The
like,
one in
why
which
would I
Jake
want
Hurley
that?
supposedly tells his niece how to find his lost mine? No, thank you. I happily leave it to you to try to solve the mystery of his disappearance. You can afford to
Bruh.
look foolish, dear. I can't.
Can we drink for her arrogance too?
I need a new drink. In fact, let me run and grab one really quick. I will just be like 1 second.
Okay.
All right. We're back. And we're drinking for her arrogance. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Okay, do you have a theory who pulled the
Do you have a theory as to who pulled the emergency brake?
Well, I know it wasn't me. I assume it wasn't you, and I highly doubt it was Lori. So that leaves those two friends of yours, Mr. Gray and Mr. Balducci.
We are not friends.
What do you think their motive was?
I don't know about your
she's talking about
friends,
the Hardy
but perhaps those other two simply thought it would be fun. Boys
Oh, I
will
see,
be
I see.
boys.
What were you and Lori arguing about earlier today?
Lori and I? We weren't arguing. We were simply discussing a topic about which both of us are passionate, that's all.
Sure. Okay.
You weren't angry?
No. And even if we were, that's really none of your business. I know that sounds harsh, but really, Nancy,
Can't argue
eavesdropping is so tacky.
Actually, it was Frank and Joe Hardy who overheard you. They said I should talk to you before they gave me all the gory details, but since you obviously don't want to tell me your side of the story, I'll just have to get the scoop from them.
No, you don't have to do that. A storyline that Lori submitted to me found its way into my last book, despite the fact that she never received compensation for it. She's reading the book now, and when she got to that part, she freaked.
Shoot.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
You stole one of her ideas?
She had no business sending me unsolicited material. But technically, yes. Now, legally, she can't prove anything, and I'm certainly not about to admit anything. And it's not as if she needs the money. But that's what we were arguing about. For what it's worth, I'm going to talk to this producer I know to see if he'll cast Lori in his next movie. It'll help ease my conscience, and who knows? She could wind up being a star. I mean, she is blonde.
Oh my god.
What is wrong with you, lady?
She's so mean and rude.
Aren't you even going to try finding out what happened to Jake Hurley?
No time. The only reason I haven't insisted that Lori release me from all the silliness is there's always the possibility that what happened to him has the makings of a bestseller. Although I highly doubt it.
Why are you so sure that Jake's story wouldn't make a bestseller?
His story is an all too common one. A man wanders off into the desert in search of gold and never returns. Why? He either doesn't have enough food or water, or he encounters hostile natives.
But why was his train found out in the middle of nowhere with just the dead engineer on board?
That does make the story a little more interesting. My guess is the engineer got tired of waiting for Jake to return, took off in the train to get help, and died of a heart attack along the way. After which, the train rolled to a stop in Blue Moon Canyon. Anyone experienced enough to single-handedly run a steam engine would have been quite a bit older than Jake.
Okay.
What do you think happened to Camille?
She probably died of something mundane like pneumonia or even measles. Now, if it was wintertime when she died, and they were in the mountains, Jake no doubt kept her body on the train for months before he buried her, which is rather delicious in a morbid sort of way.
Delicious. I hate that she used that word.
I'll let you get back to your writing.
Remember, if it's juicy, I want to know about it.
No.
Talk to the Hardy Boys again, I think.
Hey, how's it going?
I think I know the name of Jake Hurley's engineer. James Thurston.
Great! What else do you know about him?
Well, nothing.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, finding out more about him will give us something to do. We'll look into it.
See you later.
You know where to find us.
I sure do. Okay. Now what?
Did we get the gem from the chandelier in there?
Yes. So yeah, we need to collect the rest of them. One of them requires Tino leaving.
Yeah.
I don't remember when that happens. This dude hasn't left for a
What's up?
minute.
I found Lori safe and sound in the caboose, so I guess those vibes you got about her being in serious trouble were wrong.
Strange. My vibes are never wrong. What's even stranger is I'm still getting them. So maybe they're not about Lori. Maybe they're about you.
Dun dun dun.
Ba, 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 ba.
Me? I'm not in any trouble.
You're always
Trust
in
me.
trouble, Nancy.
Either you or Lori is,
Everyone
or
wants
soon
to
will
be.
be, in big trouble.
Or someone does. At all times.
Could you be more specific?
Unfortunately, no.
Well, all right.
So are you making any progress in here?
Oh yeah, not only am I getting some real unusual EMRs, that's electromagnetic readings, but take a look at this.
You've got something?
I set up a camera and took some time-lapse photos. Sometimes I was in the room, sometimes I wasn't, but somewhere along the line, I managed to get a shot of Camille.
Where? You don't mean that little blob, do you?
Yep, that's Camille.
Okay.
Nancy,
You're skeptical. That's cool.
I know,
we
Just
have never
remember,
really
the key
seen
word
her.
when it comes to ghostly phenomena is energy. That blob is the result of Camille's residual life force, spirit if you will, reacting with the chemicals in the photographic paper.
Couldn't it just be a flaw in the photographic paper?
Okay, it could be that too, but it's not.
Nancy.
Trust me.
She loves
And then
to
we
poke
literally
holes.
tell him about the ghost.
I saw a
the
bunch of
actual
weird glowing lights outside the window of the sleeping car.
Really? Actually, I'm not surprised.
Charlena said Jake Hurley used to see them too, only he attributed them to his dead wife, Camille.
They're probably some form of piezoelectricity. See, my guess is quartz crystals in the ground are being compressed as the train passes over them, and the resulting voltage, called piezoelectricity, is manifesting itself as glowing lights, probably because of some quirk in the train's shape or in the
that a real
composition of the
thing?
metals used in its construction. It was custom built, remember?
I'm about to Google it.
So it's a natural phenomenon, not a ghostly one?
Take it from me. Old Mother Nature is capable of some pretty scary stuff.
I don't see why they would put it in here and it not be true.
It's an electric charge that accumulates in certain solid materials such as crystals, certain ceramics, and biological matter such as bone, DNA, and various proteins in response to applied mechanical stress.
Huh.
The more you know.
The more you know. So, I don't know how much it
Thanks
will
for the
advance our
chat.
story,
Pleasure
but
talking to you.
if we go to the bar, just like look around the bar.
I heard there was like a bunch of clinking when we were in here last night, so I tried to look around, thinking that
Yeah.
I like missed something because it was like a notable clinking noise,
Yeah,
but I couldn't seem to.
it's pretty discreet.
I don't. Yeah, you hear?
You
that?
have to look at it from a specific angle.
I know there was a point in which she like leaves her like position there. I'm wondering if
Maybe it's not in the bar, it's in the dining room. Yeah. Can you zoom in on the table? What's in the trunk?
it was just that little note. Some
Okay, I'll just read you what it said because I'm confused. It said, go back to the bar, but turn around first on the entryway. Click on the button under the dining room table. The dining room table is covered. I don't understand. Oh.
So Lori pushed that button, slid the shelves open further, squeezed through, and disappeared. Very clever.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. How are you supposed to see that?
I don't know.
How did we find that? Because we didn't
we
look it up.
probably looked it up.
Maybe.
Sometimes when we get really, really stuck, we would look it up.
Alright, what do we have that we have not done yet? We need the gems. We need the gems. We need to get in here. We need to play the piano, which I don't think we can do. He's still in here.
I think you gotta talk to
It's
everybody.
locked.
Okay.
Is our least favorite thing to do.
Yes. Go talk to Tino.
Mm-hmm. And Lori. And
Well,
Jake
it's the
again, I
little
think.
lady detective. What do you need?
I found Lori. She was hiding in the caboose.
Oh, yeah?
oh yeah.
She disappeared because she wanted to see who'd find her first, which is why she left that clue behind.
That slug? I mean, I knew that slug was a clue. That's why I gave it to you. I mean, I could have found Lori no sweat, but I thought, hey, why not give somebody else a shot? And you came through. Nice job.
Thank you.
But look, from now on, if you come across anything that may have something to do with Jake Hurley in his mind, let me know, okay? But just so I can, give you advice, help you sort things out. After all, the opportunity to work side by side with a world-famous police detective doesn't come along every day, you know.
How did you and Lori meet?
We met at a party in New York. Nice girl. Not a lot upstairs, but nice girl.
Oh, he's such a dick.
She
I
seems to
know.
have a thing for
And
your
the fact that they
eyes.
actually dated,
Yeah,
and he basically
she always
was like,
told
she's
me
dumb.
they were... I mean, she told me once
All
that
messed
she
up.
thought they were very, brown.
Okay.
What do you think happened to Jake Hurley?
He probably died trying to work that mine of his all by himself. But I'll let you in on a secret. I'm onto something that could crack this case wide
What
open.
is it, sir?
What did you find?
Sorry, can't go into detail. Let's just say that thanks to yours truly, what happened to Jake Hurley won't be a mystery much longer.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you find any fingerprints on the
Glad
emergency
We won't
brake
tell you
handle?
what we know
None
then.
that ready help, thanks to Casey Jones up there. I told the old geezer not to touch anything, but he went and got his big, fat, oily paw prints all over the place. If we didn't need him to drive the train, I'd charge him with obstruction of justice.
Did you do anything else besides look for fingerprints?
Of course. As a matter of fact, I found this. Probably fell out of the perp's pocket while he was yanking on the handle.
Looks like some kind of thermometer.
Yeah, like the kind a certain ghost hunter uses on that bogus show of his.
You think John Gray threw the brake? But why would he do that?
Because they're thinking about axing his show, that's why. I checked with this buddy of mine in L.A. Gray's got to come up with something real big real soon,
That's
or he's
actual
toast.
work.
And you can't get much bigger than a train with a spooky
You found
past
out
that's
one
prone to
piece of
strange
information?
accidents, now can you?
This is also the gossip.
It is gossip.
Have you confronted John with your suspicions?
All in due time. I always like to get my ducks in a row before I make an arrest.
An arrest?
You're going to arrest him?
Hey, the train could have derailed. We're talking reckless endangerment, attempted assault, maybe even attempted murder. John Gray wanted
Goodness.
publicity. That's exactly what I'm gonna give him.
Do you think I could take a closer look at that cougar statue?
What, that cigar clipper? Go ahead, take a look.
Take it.
Grab it, grab it,
I'll
grab
bet
it,
I need
grab
this
it.
stone to build that thing in the diagram I found.
Ugh.
But if I remove it now, Tina will know I'm
Oh my
onto
god.
something.
Gave said, imagine Waverly with
Interesting.
the gossip drinking.
I just wanted to get a good look at it, that's all.
That whole
What
game
else
Oh
can
my
I
god.
do for you?
is just
Whole game.
You've been a big help.
maybe we
Every
should do that
single
one.
person we talk to. That would be so funny. That's a good idea.
All right, we talked to him. You did it. Can we mess with this yet? No.
No. Lori, dear, will you admit to us that you had a relationship with the policeman?
Policeman officer.
Yes?
I hear that Tino and you used to be an item.
How did you know that?
I'm a good detective, remember?
We went out a couple of times, yeah.
Also, I just
As
asked
for why we
it, and you
stopped
kind of told
going
us
out,
already.
you'd have to ask him.
Right, yeah.
Do you have any idea who threw the emergency brake?
I know exactly who did it.
You do?
Well, who else could it be? Camille. None of us has any reason to stop the train but Camille. She doesn't want us to find Jake's mine, so she's going to do whatever she can to keep its location a secret.
She is dead, you know.
Well, duh. That's why I know it's
Cactus.
her. What's more, your friend, that Jim Harley guy?
Not Jim, Joe Hardy.
Yeah, well, he thinks it's Camille too. He just doesn't have the guts to say so.
He has told us that.
Bye.
You go, girl.
Okay, thank you.
I hate that sign off. You go, girl.
Lori is actually just Jennifer Coolidge. Oh my god. My love for Jennifer Coolidge knows no bounds. I adore her.
Oh my god, I thought that too. No shit. When I heard her voice, I was like, it sounds like the mom in a Cinderella story, except but like younger.
I forgot she's the mom in a Cinderella story. Oh, man.
We think alike, yes.
Okay, we talked to Tino. Yeah, Jennifer Coolidge is amazing. I love her. She's in that show.
Hey,
White
glad you
Lotus.
stopped
She's
in.
so freaking
You gotta listen to
yeah.
this.
What have you got?
She's been awesome in
I
everything.
put this digital recorder in the corner where Camille showed up in that picture and turned it on so it would just keep recording. Now when you play it back at normal volume, all you hear is background noise. But when you turn the volume way up and run the signal through a filter or two, hear that?
I hear something. It kind of sounds like a woman singing.
Not just any woman. Camille.
Camille.
So be careful what you say in here. She's listening.
Yes, Gabe. Tanya carries that show for me. She is my favorite character.
Are you by any chance missing a small digital thermometer?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. When I went through the box I'd packed them in, that one over there, I came up one short. I was hoping to set up at least 6 in here so I could check for cold spots. How did you know I was missing one?
Because Tino Balducci found it by the emergency brake handle when he was dusting it for fingerprints, and now he thinks you're the one who pulled it.
That's ridiculous. I didn't have any reason to pull the emergency brake.
Okay.
Is it true that your show is in danger of being canceled?
Newsflash, my show was canceled. Happened last night. But what nobody knows yet is that it's been picked up by a major TV network. Not only am I still on the air, but I'm sitting prettier than ever. Any other questions?
Got him.
Were you in this room the whole time prior to that emergency brake thing?
Of course not. I made a couple of trips to my compartment in the sleeping car to get more equipment. But did I get an overpowering urge to pull the emergency brake while I was there? No.
Oh, that's a lie. I feel like everybody who sees that shit. It's like seeing a fire alarm. Like that, you have that intrusive thought.
Oh
that's
yeah,
just like,
yes.
pull
Everybody
it.
Wants to pull it.
I'll let you get back to work.
Come back anytime.
Okay. To the Hardy Boys.
Okay, wait, go back in there. I'm sorry. It's like something that has to be triggered. Look at his equipment box. Like the packing material? No. Or maybe we already did that. Maybe the walkthrough just has us do it later.
Okay.
more questions?
Well, I'll let you go.
All right then.
Just tap someone on the shoulder and just be like, well, I'll let you go.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh my gosh.
Balducci wants me to share everything I find out about Jake Hurley with him.
I'll bet he does.
He just doesn't want you to show him up again.
Yeah, he wants you to do all the legwork so at the last minute, bam, he can swoop in and grab all the credit.
I wouldn't tell him a thing, Nance.
Unless it's to get
The
lost.
Vulture from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes.
Were you able to find anything out about Jake's engineer, that James
That
Thurston
gross
guy?
from the
Good news and bad news. The
GPS
good news
course.
is he had a
Yes.
wife in Copper Gorge, so he may have had children.
The bad
The
news
mayhem,
is
is
our
that his
internet
name?
service provider stopped
Yes.
providing before we could use our cell phones to find out anything else.
That's okay. We can do more checking when we get to Copper Gorge.
Right.
Oh shoot!
We there.
Okay, before we get off, go back and talk to Tina. I guess you have to click on the train.
To Tino, you said?
Yeah. Oh, it's daytime now. We were just up all night.
You know, Nancy pulls all-nighters all the time.
You're right.
It's no big deal to me.
Glad
There's
you dropped
also-
in. Lori told me she'd given you a letter from Jake Hurley that says how to find his mine.
I didn't mention it before because it's very bizarre.
Lori should have given that to me. I mean, I'm the trained professional
You
around
didn't
here.
find her
Let me
that.
take a look. I've seen enough.
We've already done everything on there.
You're
so-
not- Figure it out anyway.
Useless. Those are just the rantings of a guy who spent way too much of his life swirling mud around in pans under the hot sun. Five-star nut job.
Here, sir.
Lori says she found this letter in a wastebasket.
Exactly where it belongs.
How come you told me you and Lori never went out, and she told me you did?
Don't you ever stop asking questions?
No.
When people start answering them honestly, I do.
I dumped her, okay? I'm not proud of what I did. I'm not happy about what I did, but it's done. It's over. Now let's drop it.
I'm just gonna have to go talk to Lori.
Guess I'll just have to go talk to Lori again.
You are incredibly irritating, you know that? I dumped her because people said going out with her would make me look bad. Said she was a
I hate you
joke.
so much.
That no one took her seriously. Said if I started hanging with her, no one would take me seriously.
Because they were
So
doing
I
that before
stopped
this
calling.
Right. And he ghosted her. He didn't.
Did you
like,
ever tell
break up
Lori
with
any
her.
of this?
Right.
No. Now take a powder. I don't feel like talking anymore.
Take a
Okay,
powder.
look at the like back up, go forward, turn around. On the left floor.
That looks just like the stuff John
Oh,
Gray
I
has his
see.
thermometers packed in.
Okay, now it says to like if he doesn't like want to talk to you again, take like a lap and then talk to him again.
Still don't feel like talking.
Like, just maybe, like, leave the room and come back in or something?
Yeah, like leave the bar.
I'll leave the car.
Still don't feel like talking.
Okay, well maybe we can talk to him when we get back, but
Yeah, okay. Do we need to talk to John at all?
no, I don't think so. We are like off the train in those scenes. Can we not just like
I.
boop boop off?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is the girl with the head.
Yeah.
Hey there! Welcome to Buell's Old Time Taffy House. Come on over here. Welcome, stranger. Listen, you by any chance get here on that private train what's parked out yonder?
As a matter of fact, yes, I did.
There's a rumor going around that Charlena Purcell's on board. Is that true?
As a matter of fact, yes, it is.
Hot dang if that don't beat all. I've read every single book that gal's ever written. Best writer whatever lived. Did she get off the train too?
I don't think so. She's pretty busy.
Charlena Purcell herself right here in Copper Gorge, breathing the same air as me. Hot dang! Well, welcome, little missy. Go on in and take a gander at what life was like during the heyday of Copper Gorge whilst you sample some of our delicious homemade saltwater taffy.
Okay.
So this is some kind of museum?
Why, it's the best kind of museum, sister. It's free. You can gape and gawk and ooh and ah to your heart's content. Least you can till I close up.
Where'd all this stuff come from?
Been in the family for years. For centuries, in fact. See, Buell was my great-great-uncle. This building used to be his general store. During the glory days back in the 1880s, he commenced a pawnbrokering. So the miners Copper Gorge was crawling with back then could raise some cash to pay for grub and tools and such. But pretty soon, the mining boom went bust. And there was Uncle Buell, stuck with a whole store full of junk. Only it wasn't junk to him. Debris from lost lives and broken dreams is what he called it. Couldn't bring himself to get rid of it. So, he passed it on to his kin. My great-granddaddy's the one who come up with the idea of turning the place into a tourist attraction.
And you make money by selling taffy?
Tourists just love taffy. Especially when you dangle a free sample in front of them to get them hooked. Of course, it ain't really free. Some taffy on a stick'll cost you 2 tokens. Which you can get by winning both those games over there.
How do you make money, ma'am?
How much does it cost to play them?
Well, ain't you the little penny pincher? Fact of the matter is they're free. Unless you go messing with the artifacts I got in here. Do that and you'll be head first in the nearest snowdrift before you know what hit you.
Do you by any chance have any of Jake Hurley's things in here?
Jake who?
Hurley. He was a miner. I think he may have left a lamp and a pickaxe with your great-great-uncle.
Never heard of him. Of course, that don't mean his stuff's not here. Just means you're just gonna have to look around and see for yourself. But remember, Susie Q, don't touch.
You're right.
Pleasure talking to you.
I'll bet it was.
This looks just like the insignia I saw on the train. I'll bet this was Jake's trunk. If this was his trunk, maybe the pickaxe and lamp that I need are inside.
Right, okay, and then...
You ain't touching anything over there, are you, mister?
No.
Oops, I'd better go ask permission before I mess with this.
Yeah.
We have the thing now. We can open it for you, ma'am. Sir, I don't know.
Yeah, you're kind of an ambiguous gender, and that's fine. I just don't know what to say. Let's see. Is this a thing? Do we have to do this?
I do believe we have to do that. I think we bet
Yeah. I
or
think
something.
so. But we need tokens, I guess.
No, they're free.
How do we start it?
You pull the...
I thought I clicked on it.
Did you bet?
Yeah, I think I had yellow selected.
Phooey.
What? Maybe it reset? Oh boy.
And I lose.
Alright. What color are we going for now?
Blue.
Red.
Phooey.
I mean, technically, if you keep pressing the same color...
Right, your odds are better.
eventually-
But
Yeah,
it's less fun that way.
true.
So far, there hasn't been.
Phooey.
Ooey.
Buoy indeed. Alright, we're sticking with yellow.
Okay.
Rats.
Okay, green. 2 in a row.
I'm gonna start taking a drink every time you play this.
Okay.
Loser.
What is wrong with the green?
I don't know. And I feel like as soon as we
minute we
switch
pick
to
it.
green,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna.
Yeah.
Yep. Yay.
Hey.
We did it. We did it.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
What is this? I've forgotten all of these apparently.
You have to get it in the yellow ones, but not the pink. Because you want the, I guess, the prospector to get up before the yellow.
Oh my god. Okay.
Neener, neener, neen.
Thought it was supposed to be 2 in a row. How are you supposed to have any control over this?
I don't think you do. Oh, man. You move pretty far when you get one.
Dang it.
Ooh. Yay!
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Avery, I want some of your cookies. Cookies sound so good.
What kind of cookies are you making?
Looks like to
Oh,
get
I
some
forget.
tapping
We
on a
do need
stick, I'm
this
going to need 2
eventually.
different tokens.
We have to.
Right, yeah, she wants a taffy on a stick in order to like let us mess with the thing, I think.
You still here?
Do you know what's in that old trunk over there?
Why? You ain't been fooling with it, have you?
Oh no, of course not. No, I just thought it might contain the lamp and pickaxe that I asked you about before.
Well, if it does, you can forget about him, 'cause it's locked. None of my kin have ever been able to figure out how to open it.
Well,
Not
we
even my
can.
cousin Alvin. And he went to junior college.
Oh no.
Would it be okay
That
if I
was
tried to open it?
such a, like,
Well, now, I certainly ain't gonna let you break it
stereotype.
open if that's what you're getting at.
Oh no, I would never use force, believe me. But in order to try to get it open, I would have to, touch it.
Nope, sorry, not gonna happen, little missy. Unless...
Unless?
Tell you what, you get Charlene Purcell to come in here so's I can shake
That's
her
a
hand,
task.
and I'll let you fiddle with that trunk till the cows come home.
You know what? I've got a better idea.
Now, what could be better than me coming face to face with the lady who writes the finest
Red
literature
velvet
this here country's ever seen?
cookies.
Well, that's just
my
it.
God.
If you were to just meet her,
What
you'd
are
have
you
nothing to
doing
show
to
for
me?
it. Afterwards, she'd go her way and you go yours, and that would be it. But if you were to, say, get her autograph, well, then you'd have something to hang on the wall and brag about.
Okay, make it so's I can meet her and get her autograph.
Oh, but the thing is, she's on a deadline, and if you take her away from her writing, she may fall behind. And if she falls behind, her publisher may pull the plug. And if her publisher pulls the plug, it could ruin her career. Do you really want to risk ruining Charlene Purcell's career?
Good heavens, of course not. All right, you just get me Charlene's autograph, and you got a deal. Just make sure she uses my name. I want it real personal-like.
You bet. And your name is...
Fatima, with an F. None of that weirdo PH stuff.
Okay, Fatima. I'll be right back.
We'll go get your autograph.
Oops.
More questions?
I met a huge fan of yours in town who'd really, really like your autograph. An autographed picture would be even better.
Imagine that. Me having fans way out here in the boonies.
great.
Well, I'm sure I have a picture around here somewhere. But what I don't have is a pen. Usually I just ask my assistant for one.
I have a pencil
You don't
here
have a
somewhere.
pen?
A pencil won't do, dear. It has to be ink. See if you can borrow a pen from somebody.
Oh my god. Who has the pen, Lauren? I don't want to go ask people.
Tino.
Tino. Of course.
Of course, we have to talk to Tino. I bet we could beat this game tonight.
I know, I was like, it's crazy how long it takes us when you're not looking at a walkthrough, because we just get so stuck.
We do. We just walk around and like really exhaust every option.
Yeah, and like I was thinking when we went and found Lori, I was like, I'm pretty sure it took into our second night of streaming this.
Yes.
For us to find Lori.
Find her. Yeah,
my
well, it's like also like
I can't stay mad at a fellow
weight
detective.
puzzle and
What do you need?
stuff.
Right.
Like we just don't understand how those puzzles work, and there's no explanation.
Nope.
Yeah.
Do you by any chance have a pen I could borrow?
Why, I'm surprised at you. Don't you know that every detective
right,
should carry
Nancy.
a pen?
You literally have a
Actually, I carry a
checklist.
pencil.
Oh, a
Well, as
pencil.
it happens, I
Okay,
got
just
lots
kidding.
of pens.
Nancy's right.
Tell you what, if you can play that Leaping Lizards game I found over there and do better than
Yay.
I did when I played it, which shouldn't be that hard seeing as how smart you are, I'll give you a pen. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
Sure.
the object of the game is to get rid of as many lizards
He's
as you
like
can by
mentor
jumping them
voicing
with
us
other
now.
lizards until you can't jump anymore. Last time I played, I wound up with just 5 lizards. If you can wind up with only 4, the pen's yours.
Okay. I do remember this taking us a bit,
Yeah.
and we always kept ending up with 5.
I don't remember the strat either.
Yeah, it'll just take some doing, I think, to get the strat again. So if we do this, this, and then
doing really well so far, I feel like.
Yeah, so
I don't want to jinx it, but...
we do this, then this.
I did it! I
Three.
won!
Oh
Talk
my
about
gosh,
luck.
first time. Look at that.
Here's your pen.
Nailed it.
You did so good.
What else can I do for you?
You're the
might
one
as
who
well
pulled
accuse
that
him of this right
emergency
now.
brake, aren't you?
This is what we
Me?
need to come back for.
What, are you joking?
You stole one of John Gray's thermometers and planted it at the scene.
You're just some teenage nobody. I don't have to listen to this.
You're right, you don't.
That
Neither
whole
do the other
puzzle for a pen.
passengers. But
Last
unless you
time it
give me
took
a
us,
good
like,
reason not
6 or
to,
7
I think
tries.
I'll tell them anyway.
Look, maybe I was
The
a little
amount of,
hasty,
like,
pointing a finger
crazy
at the ghost guy
wackadoodle
like
stuff you have
that.
to do in this
Maybe
game
all those
for
lies
an
people have
item
been
that
spreading
Nancy
are
should
starting to
definitely
get
be
to
able
me.
to find
Maybe I
easily
thought it
without
would help if
doing
I
this.
got a little positive
like, just
press by
sitting
solving
around.
a crime aboard a haunted train.
Paper, a pencil.
Maybe I apologize. And, maybe you can see fit not to let any of this go beyond this room?
Well, no harm done, I guess.
Great.
You were gonna arrest
Well,
that guy.
what else can I do for you?
Thanks for your help.
Helping people is what I'm all about.
Okay. Sure it is. This car annoys me because there's just not really a lot of purpose to it, and could have put these puzzles elsewhere. Save a lot of space.
Have you found a pen so I can autograph that picture?
I got it from Tino. You can keep it. If you could have it say, to Fatima, that'd be great.
There you go.
I love how Nancy was just
Anything
like,
else?
just keep that pen.
Well,
I
I'll
do
let you
not plan
go.
on giving it
All
back.
right, then.
The boys are gone.
Yeah, I forget where they went.
Hey, Nancy.
Oh,
Hi.
There you are. We've been looking for you.
Yeah, you won't believe the lucky break we caught.
Lucky break? Hey, that was the result of good old-fashioned detective work.
It was the result of your insisting we stop for a cheeseburger.
Guys, what's going on?
Well, it turns out that a grandchild of Jake's engineer still lives around here.
What's more, he hangs out at the local diner. Comes in every day.
Apparently, he's pretty ancient.
Ah, and you found that out when you stopped there so Joe could get a hamburger.
Cheeseburger.
The thing is, the owner of the diner wouldn't agree to point the guy out unless one of us fills in for his short order cook.
That's like
He's
an
got to go home and wait
iconic
for the cable
Nancy
guy or something.
And since Joe
community
here barely knows how to
joke.
boil
You can
water,
find so
guess
much
who got
merch
the
that
job?
just says cheeseburger.
It like zooms in on his face and everything.
Way to go, Frank.
Oh, and get this. Balducci convinced Lori that Jake's mine is somewhere right here in Copper Gorge, so he, Lori, and John Gray are hiking up the mountain out there even as we speak.
Like that bumblebrain's
Oh,
gonna
so
find
they're all
anything.
gone.
Sounds like now might be a good time to do
perfect.
some serious poking around on the train.
Indeed.
Good thought.
Hey, I better get going. Wish me luck.
I'll go with you. You can make me a cheeseburger.
Man, is obsessed. Okay.
Got that autograph?
Got
Got
something
some
better,
autograph.
an autographed picture.
Hot dang! She spelled my name right and everything. Go ahead, little missy.
Aw.
Have a go at that trunk. Whatever's inside it's all yours.
All right.
Don't mind if I do.
This indentation looks familiar.
Way ahead.
Does
of you,
it?
Nancy.
Oh, we need another thing.
Or is it in the same order?
We could try it.
I always started with orange.
Mm-hmm.
Do I still have the picture or did I delete it
I
thinking we
can-
were done with it?
I can find it.
Yeah, I deleted the picture thinking we were done.
Do, 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 do. Okay. You got orange already?
Mm-hmm.
blue, green, red, purple, yellow. No. Yeah, I think we need something else.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go back to the train then.
Yeah.
Here we go. Nope. What?
Okay, so we can play the piano now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And get the.
We can get the gem. Yeah. I don't know if we can look through Charlena's stuff at all. No, she doesn't go with them, does she?
I don't remember, but I thought I remember her leaving at some point, but I can't recall if we actually need anything from her. Okay. G, A, G, A, G, E, D, F,
A spyglass. I'll bet it's the one I need for Jake's projector.
Okay. Can we do anything with this yet?
It's locked.
I still can't even look at it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's the weird part is you just can't even look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we do with these gems again?
Oh, go behind the desk as well. And get the... You get something from there. The carbide.
Carbide. Just what I need to make that lamp I found work.
Right, okay.
So I don't think we can use them yet.
Okay. Do we
It
need
says-
to go... Why do I have this in my hand? Should we go up to the mine? Or to the
Cemetery.
cemetery to get the code?
It says to talk to John and Charlena again, though. But it doesn't say why, so I don't know if that's really necessary.
Well, but he's gone right now, right?
Yeah.
She's here.
More questions?
You didn't go on Tino's expedition to Jake's mine?
Please. The man barely knows where his head is. If he's the
True.
one who finds that mine, I'll eat my laptop.
You're right.
I'll let you get back to your writing.
Remember,
Not
if
raw.
it's juicy, I want to know about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yes,
You startled me.
Oh
Do
my
you work
God.
here?
I do. Are you looking for someone?
Yes,
ghost?
Camille Hurley. She died back in the 1800s.
Ah, Camille. Beautiful crypt, wonderful view, good drainage. Whoever
Forgot
buried
about
her
this
must have
person.
loved her very much.
I did too.
May I go
I
inside
hate
it?
how, like,
You may, but unfortunately
creepy
you
his
can't.
voice is.
Why not?
I accidentally dropped the key down the
taffy.
grate that's in front of the crypt.
It's
If you can
like-
retrieve it, you can keep
They
it.
told the
I'm
voice
having
actor, like,
another one
okay,
made.
keep it calm,
But if you
keep
do
it
go
creepy,
into the crypt,
deep.
just remember, you won't be alone.
You're a grave caretaker.
Right?
Well, there's the key.
That's okay, Nancy. This is a the
Gotcha.
final scene move.
Yes. We got your key. Ugh, and he's
Oh,
just
there's
gone.
a thing. That was a different gate.
Okay.
Oh, do we have it? Yeah.
This indentation looks familiar.
Copper. Oh, so we have to...
Does it change?
It does. So copper is first. Why does that matter? Oh, look up at the like stained glass, I think.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. So copper is that sequence of
This is copper?
colors. Copper is CU. Yeah.
So green, red, purple, yellow, orange, blue. Green, red, purple, yellow, orange, blue. Green, red, purple, yellow, orange, blue. Green.
Yay. What's the one on the trunk? Maybe we should take a picture of that.
I don't know. Yeah, let's just take a picture.
There's also that one note that talks about lead.
In the letter he wrote to his niece, Jake said she should go to Camille's grave and let Camille's goodness rub off on her.
Oh, this is the
Rub as in
corners
rubbing,
puzzle.
maybe? If I am supposed to make rubbings of these pillars, I'll need a pencil, which I already have, and some nice thin paper.
Okay, so we need paper.
I feel like she should have that too. she should just have this stuff on hand.
She should. This one
What
doesn't
fits
have
here?
a thing. It's got a bat on it. Do you have paper?
Welcome back.
No.
It was fun talking to you.
Ditto, little missy.
Look at our stuff. Like our notes.
Oh.
Oh, not that. No. I mean our pieces of paper. No, you were right. I meant in our inventory. Sorry.
So we have this. First, you need a map. To locate the mine, you need my projector. When it comes to placing the stones, you need to ask someone who holds a warm place in my heart. I have stored his name accordingly. Retrieve his names. You have to give the dolls an order. So require looking inside Camille's dancing shoes. As for my beloved Camille, she has 4 words for you. Words which translated into numbers and used in combination will help power my projector. She's taken them with her to the grave. Go to Copper Gorge, Colorado, and pay your respects and let some of her goodness rub off on you. Yeah, okay. Advanced steps. The blueprints. And this. Left pickaxe and lamp with fuel for safekeeping. To open what's closed, lead is the key.
Yeah.
So.
Something fits in here.
Alright. Red, green, blue. Orange, yellow, purple.
Well, here's Jake's lamp.
Great.
Are we just gonna
Another
take it?
slug. Could come in handy.
Yeah.
Still
But
not
where's
ours.
his pickaxe?
Okay.
Don't tell
Great.
Fatima. Just walk away. Okay. We need paper, so...
Oh, wait.
Wait.
Do talk to her before you leave, sorry. Oh, you already went in.
We can back out right now. Might as well.
Welcome back.
Have you by any chance ever come across a pickaxe that had the initials JH carved into it?
Why?
Because it used to belong to Jake
Why?
Hurley, and I really, really need it. I thought it would be in that old trunk, but it wasn't.
You got that trunk open? Wait till I tell Cousin Alvin. He thinks he's so smart. As for that
Wait, doesn't
pickaxe,
he
so
though?
happens I got it upstairs in my kitchen. Use it to open the coconuts Aunt Lucy sends me every year from Hawaii.
Do you think I could have it?
Why, no, you can't have it. How would I open them coconuts?
Maybe not with an axe?
But your great-great-uncle, do you really think Buell would
Coconuts
approve
are
of you
super
using
hard to
something that
open,
belonged to
so-
some poor miner to open coconuts?
Ah, okay. I'll let you have the pickaxe. After you do something for me.
I
What?
don't know why they would ever let us have the pickaxe.
Like what?
But
I got a bunch of taffy over there what needs sorting. Just follow the directions
Okay.
that are posted by the machine. Them belts get moving pretty fast, so you gotta keep your wits about you. While you're doing
What
that,
mini
I'll
game?
fetch that pickaxe.
You got a deal.
This? This?
in the back, I think.
Oh, like in the
Like-
employees only area?
Yeah. The
Wax
taffy
paper for the
kitchen.
taffy. Would you mind if I took a piece of wax paper?
I will take it.
Let you have a piece.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Banana, mango, strawberry, apple, blueberry, grape, reject.
And not the rejects. Okay. It's a reject.
No, I guess we can just leave it. Right? Is that technically a
Yeah.
reject?
Yeah. He's open all rejects so far. Oh,
This?
mango? Apple. Blueberry. I mean, we're on junior, so it's gonna be a lot easier. I
Oh,
think.
right. Okay. Is that technically strawberry?
I think so.
I did it!
Yay! Great
We
job,
did it.
Nancy. She's so proud of herself. Okay.
We did basically nothing.
Got that
We
taffy
sorted,
sorted?
Like 5 pieces. Of
No problem. That was easy.
You sneak any freebies while you were at it?
No.
Oh no, I would never do that.
Well, ain't you the goody two-shoes? Truth
Yes.
is, wouldn't have minded too much
Except
if you
not
had,
really.
long as you fessed up to it. Here's the pickaxe. Cracked the handle pretty bad on the last batch of coconuts. You sure you want it?
Positive.
There you go. Don't hurt yourself.
I won't. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, it's Frank. I'm in the kitchen of the diner playing
Oh.
short order cook.
Has that grandchild of Jake's engineer showed up yet?
Just came in with this lady who's even older than he is. And get this. He's a retired miner, so every time I finish an order and ring the pickup bell, he thinks it's the mine shaft elevator bell. And for some reason, it makes him start telling his lady friend about his grandfather.
You mean you ring the bell and he starts talking about James Thurston?
Exactly. Of course, 5 seconds later, he's rambling on about
It's
something
so
totally
strange.
unrelated, but I just fill an order, ring the bell, and ding, he picks up right where he left off. That is, unless I fill the order wrong and the waitress
like
chews
this
me
is a
out.
different
She's got a
actor
voice
than
like a chainsaw.
I know.
Very distracting.
I thought that too. It sounds different.
open and your nose to the grindstone.
I am. Just wanted to keep you posted.
Well, good luck.
Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Okay, it's not an Nancy game without a food mini game. What do we got? Onions, jalapenos, mustard, bacon, cheese. Onions. Jalapenos. This?
Yeah. That's to be. That's not what jalapenos look like.
No.
Okay.
Must wait. Was it hot mustard? Yes.
Oh.
Bacon. Bacon?
Oh, it's at the top.
Oh. Cheese. Ding.
So do you know what you want to order yet, Edna?
I'm still looking.
Did I tell you that my granddad
Oh,
was
boy.
the engineer on a private train owned by one of the richest men that ever passed through Copper Gorge? Jake Hurley was his name. Yes, sir, my granddaddy was Jake's private engineer for more than 25 years. Told my daddy that men don't come any crazier than Jake Hurley, or any nicer. Treated my granddaddy real well, and told him stuff. Real important stuff. Stuff he made my granddaddy swear to never ever forget. Stuff that my granddaddy told my daddy, and that my daddy told me. Why don't you get the egg salad, Edna?
Yeah.
Eggs are back to being good for you, you know. Seems like just last year, all those scientific types were saying your arteries would clog up if you so much as
Wonder if
looked
it'll
at
cut
an
'em
egg.
off if
But
you
nowadays, well, all of a sudden, eggs are chock full of vitamins and proteins and eat. Yes, sir, Jake Hurley told my granddaddy things he never told another living soul. Not even his wife. I tell you about her, Edna.
I don't think so.
Camille was her name. Camille Boulet. That's French, you know. Of course, she died so young that poor Jake didn't have time to tell her anything. According to my granddaddy, one summer day she had a dizzy spell and fell and hit her head. She didn't take well to the heat, see? And sometimes in the summer, when they were going through the desert, why, that train'd be just like an oven. Anyway, Granddad said she got right up afterwards and seemed okay. But a couple hours later, Jake... The way my granddaddy died, that was kind of strange, too. I ever tell you how my granddaddy died?
No, I don't think you did.
My daddy, he came home from school one day to find a railroad official telling his mom that Granddad been found dead in Blue Moon Canyon, Nevada. He was in the engine of Jake Hurley's train, just kind of slumped over with his hands still on the throttle. The strange thing is, nobody else was on board the train, yet the door to the engine was locked and barred. It was like Granddad was trying to keep someone out, like he was running from something, like something finally scared him so bad his heart just stopped. Of course, he was in his 60s at the time, and back then that was old. Doesn't seem so old now, does it, Edna? Here I am, pushing 93, and still spry as a spring chicken. Spring chicken! Now, where do you suppose that expression came from? Why, no, I ever tell you about the mine my granddaddy said Jake Hurley'd found?
He found a mine?
A couple years before he died, Granddad told my daddy that Jake found a vein in the mountains somewhere and was mining it all by himself, so no one would steal it out from under him. He wouldn't even tell Granddad where the mine was. What he'd do is have Granddad drive the train real slow so he could jump off without Granddad seeing him. Then
That's
Granddad
wild.
would pick him up at a prearranged spot a few days later. Oh, they didn't call him Crazy Jake Hurley for nothing. Speaking of crazy, you see how much Abner's charging for a haircut at that shop of his now? But the craziest thing Jake Hurley ever did was tell Granddad the secret to finding his mine. He made him swear to tell it to my daddy and nobody else. Eventually, my daddy, he told me, and it was so bizarre that I remember it to this day, though I sure don't understand how it'd help anybody find his mine. But since my daddy didn't tell me not to tell anybody, this is what Crazy Jake Hurley told Granddad, word for word. The eye of the tiger is fixed on a star. Zircon lies in fingers that scar. Amethyst floats in a hand from the deep. Citrine is what the foul mouth shall keep. Tourmaline by a soft arm is ensnared. Peridot rests at the foot of the mare.
The eye of the tiger is fixed on a star. Zircon lies in fingers that scar.
Yes, Nancy, we
Amethyst
just-
floats in a hand from the deep.
You gotta hear
Citrine
it
is what the foul mouth shall keep. Tourmaline by a soft arm is ensnared. Peridot rests at the foot of the mare.
Frank, are you sure that's what he said?
I'm positive.
Are you sure that's all he said?
Look, this guy was old, okay? I mean, we're talking Jurassic. And guys that old don't joke around. They don't have time to. What you just heard is what I heard, word for word.
Got
Old
anything
people
else?
Don't
I almost
tell
forgot.
jokes.
You gotta check this out.
It's just an old letter, Frank.
You bet it's an old letter. From Samuel Clemens.
Oh my gosh, where'd you get this?
I found it in the caboose.
Apparently,
How
he
did
and
you find
Jake
it
were
in the
pen
caboose and we
pals.
didn't?
Wish I had a famous writer for a
Honestly.
pen pal.
Okay.
Did we take it?
When Joe gave it to me, I about flipped. I know I should turn it over to Lori, and I will, but it's just so darn cool.
I still don't see what the big deal is. I mean, it's not like it's from Mark Twain or anything. What?
See you soon.
You know where to find us.
You beautiful idiot. Okay. Let's go. All right.
I totally forgot about this. I got so distracted by the burgers and the
I mean, it's a pretty wild
mini games.
distraction.
Yeah. Step.
Okay.
Wisdom, charity, purity, eternity.
I do not remember what that goes to.
It's kind of like great, but
Oh, is it just number of letters?
oh, maybe.
We can try that.
Mm.
I feel like it was something else, though.
It was, yeah, a bit more complicated.
Was it wisdom, eternity, charity, purity?
But like specific, look at the like order of the like angles before you open it, you know?
Oh, right,
Like
right.
which section it is.
Okay, so it's top left first, which is wisdom, which is 6. So it's 6. And then bottom left, top right, and then bottom right. Okay. Alright, bottom left is charity, which is 7. Top right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Bottom right, 6.
Yeah, it's gotta be more.
Yeah, okay.
It looks like we get that information from a book.
Okay. Can we do anything with this yet?
It's locked.
No.
I think the book is in here, actually.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So, wisdom is owl. Charity is dove. Eternity is
Brown.
and what was is it? Wisdom, eternity, charity,
Purity.
purity,
Harp.
harp. Okay, owl is 7, dove 9, crown 6, and then 3. Okay, so bottom left is charity. So it's top right is eternity, which is 6. Bottom right is purity, which is heart. 7, 9, 6, 3.
Yay.
More pipes. Why am I not surprised?
Nice. Oh. Oh, that square is not supposed to be there. Right on the left of you. Because it's not connected to that red one either.
That should do it.
There you go. Yay. Okay, before we open it, there is one more. So we don't accidentally... It's behind the eagle picture.
Oh, right. How do we get that off?
With the weights.
Oh, okay. So down here.
Okay.
All right, what are the numbers for eagle?
Okay, so
it needs to...
You need to get to 2. It needs to be a 2, and you need to use 6 slugs.
Okay.
Yeah. On the other side. Yay!
Okay. So that's all the way up in the dining car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We are cruising through this one pretty quickly.
Yay. I really like this one. I forgot how much I like it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's so cozy.
And naturally, we have still more pipes.
We're just like walking into this room, and Frank and Joe Hardy are just watching us mess with somebody.
They're just vibing. We're just like, yep.
She's got it.
Oh my god. Okay.
That one one's gotta be like that. Yeah.
There, that looks
Yay.
right.
That was so easy.
I
This
know,
must be because we're on Junior.
it must be because I was so hard with this. It took us so long. Like I'm about to go watch our VOD and be like, how long did it take us?
How
Okay.
frustrated did we get?
So do we go back to the machine room now and get everything going?
Well, we can open the valve.
Oh right, I forgot we have to do that. Power everything on.
Sounds like steam from the engine is moving through those pipes now.
Great.
Yeah, and then the machine.
Okay, so I know for this thing we need to put
The gems.
on there. So
Yeah.
the Eye of the Tiger is fixed on a star. Do we have all of them?
We need
There's
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We missing
We
1. 2,
Don't
3, 4.
have all the. Oh.
Where is it? I do not remember.
Okay. We got the one on the globe.
Yeah.
And the chandelier.
Did I get the one on the globe?
I don't know.
I think I grabbed it, but let me double check. No,
Oh
I
no.
didn't.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the Eye of the Tiger as well. The one that we just
Yeah.
got.
Lord.
Zircon lies in fingers that scar, hand from the deep.
Fingers that scar.
So I guess it's zircon.
Okay, yeah.
Which is
The gold one.
this one?
No, the yellow one.
This one? Yeah, this is tourmaline, right?
No.
Okay, this is the foul mouth.
No.
It's Eye of the Tiger, fingers that scar, hand from the deep. Foul
That's
mouth.
it. It's supposed to be a fin.
Oh, a hand from the deep.
It looks like a wing or something, but
I thought it was a wing.
yeah. I remember we got pretty confused with this one as well, because it's like subjective.
Right. Okay, foul mouth, citrine. Is this one?
That's that one, yeah.
Alright. This is tourmaline, which will be this one.
Listen. Yay.
Whoa, looks like I did something right.
Okay.
Yay.
So then where do we put the spyglass? I feel like it. I have rabbit harping hum. Turn this water into rum. That's what Avery said. Okay.
Does it go there? Oh no, that's where the pickaxe goes.
Okay.
Guess you have to pull it.
Oh no.
No.
What I need is some duct tape.
Don't do this to me. Okay.
Well, okay. We need to ask John for a duct tape. Yeah, definitely go somewhere on that contraption though. The rest of this stuff.
Does he make us do some
Sup?
shit?
Would you
He
by any
does.
chance have any duct tape?
Got some right there in my gearbox. That's the good news. The bad news is I can't open the box. It's an antique
the
lockbox
one,
that I
though.
found in this abandoned monastery I scoped out on my show last year. You can open it with either the key, which I just discovered I forgot to bring with me, or the combination, which you're supposed to be able to figure out just by looking at the box. Fortunately, I didn't put anything critical in there. I've never tried to open it without the
Oh,
key,
right, it's that
but if you want that
riddle.
duct tape, go ahead and give it a shot.
A riddle.
Thanks, I think I will.
Unless
If you get it open, the duct tape's all yours.
There's an image on each of those buttons.
Yeah.
They tell a
Oh
story,
my
maybe? I bet the animals
God.
should start from the left shore.
Yeah. So it's this. You take the middle over first. So you take the bird.
Bird is the middle.
Well, okay, I guess I'm thinking of it in the way I was told the story, which is a fox, a goose, and a bag of corn. Which here it's a dog, a cat, and a bird. So I guess you
Yeah.
have to take the middle thing first, because you can't
Which
leave
is the cat.
either end.
So that's middle left.
And then take the cat, leave it by
You
itself.
leave the cat. Yeah.
Go back for the. You can go back
Wolf,
for
it looks like.
either one, but yeah, go back for the.
Middle right.
Yes, and then leave the wolf. Take the cat back with you.
Yeah.
Go back for the bird. Leave the cat.
Yeah. Leave the bird and the wolf. Go get the cat.
Go get the cat, and everybody's there.
Yay!
Why would you store your duct tape?
Only that's in there.
What an idiot. There's a whole box for his here, and he's like, but my duct tape will go in here.
There, good as new. Sorta.
Sorta. Oh,
Darn,
okay.
I must
feel
be
like
missing
this is
something.
The last thing we do, I guess. So, what does this do? Nothing? This do?
Yeah, we need to do that thing. That's where, like, stuff goes. Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah.
I need a lamp. This goes
okay.
here.
That, yeah.
Okay, looks like that goes there. There, it should work
Cool.
now.
Okay. Whatever that was. Is there anything else? What's that, like, arm thing?
This? That's the tool we used
Yeah.
to open the grate.
Oh, okay.
I think that's everything.
Okay, I think we're good, yeah. So try it again, I guess.
stop.
Yay.
Things are happening. This is so elaborate and unnecessary.
Really crazy.
This is so wild. It's really cool.
Necessary. Just go to the position.
Also, what science is actually happening? I need someone who knows things to be like, oh yes.
That's where Jake's mine is. Brimstone Canyon.
Don't you look all excited. What's up?
I think I know where Jake's mine is. Tell the engineer to head for a place in Nevada called Brimstone Canyon.
Way to go.
They just gonna,
I
like,
knew you could do it,
we're
Francie.
going off-roading,
Not
folks.
Francie, Nancy.
Here's the deal.
wildest
When we
ride.
get there, I'm going to make sure that you get to be the first one to check out the mine. I'll call everyone together in the dining car, and while we're in there, you slip off the train. Will 10 minutes be enough of a head start?
I guess so.
That'd be great.
It'll have
Think
to
of
do.
it as your reward. Of course, anything you find in the mine is, well, mine. So if I find out that you've taken something without telling me, let's just say things could get ugly.
Okay, sure.
Don't worry, you can trust me.
I have the feeling that
We're in
thanks
it
to
for the
you,
fun.
we are about to discover something huge. Great job, Amy.
Can you
Thank
please get her
you.
name right? Because, like, the newspapers are gonna ask. Oh. Actually, a railroad just appears for several states.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, like surely the possibilities had to be limited by where the train tracks can possibly be.
Sounds like the train's leaving. Where's it going? Well, Frank and Joe will make sure it comes back for me. I hope.
Nancy is unconcerned.
No.
She's like,
We'll
oh,
be
it'll come
fine.
back for me. I'll be fine.
We probably have enough water to survive in the desert.
Totally. What's this?
The last one you try.
Oh shit. We're blasting cannons.
Oh my god! This game gets really wild, honestly. It gets way more wild than I
forgot about all
Oh,
this.
right. This is the entrance to Jake's mine.
I feel like
And we just blew it up.
I feel like I'm also mixing the end of this game with the end of Shadow Ranch. Because I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Shorty's going to come up and chase
Whoa,
us through
what's
all those
going on
tunnels.
here? Jake's color wheel seems to be pointing toward purple. Wow, glowing lizards. Cool. But weird.
Are they alive? Because
I mean, surely there must be, but what a system that is. Okay, did we do anything with this?
Wonder what that's doing there.
Oh,
Oh shit.
can we
Okay.
write that down? Purple or something?
Did we see any other symbols? I didn't remember seeing any other symbols on the way in. What is this? Sure. Bye-bye. Are we about to die? You never know. Sometimes
You
you
never
just
know.
do stuff. Alright. There's a snake.
one.
They're cuties.
I
Okay.
know. Yellow. Forward, but we can't go forward. Okay. Seems like if anyone was on a minecart that steep, they would die.
Okay.
Uh-oh. There's some kind of chamber on the other side of those poles. But if I move the wrong one, the ceiling will collapse. Jake was too meticulous not to have left a clue somewhere as to how you're supposed to move them. I wonder if it has something to do with that symbol I saw before.
So we saw this one first.
Yeah.
I've seen that symbol before. Uh-oh.
Bye. Ba-da-da-da-da.
Okay.
So do we like leave all the way? And maybe we missed some because we were just going too fast.
We need to find...
I think there's like I think that we need to be turning around and checking.
That too, yes, but we need to find a different little spot with like a clue for that puzzle.
Is it in here in the mines?
It is in the mines, yeah.
Okay, already this was like the wrong. Okay, it's saying purple because we're in this room. Okay, is there? There's not one in here.
Yeah, just like wander around and go the wrong way on purpose, basically.
Whoa!
Oh, she's okay.
I thought we were dead. Okay.
Okay, I did too. This is it, I think. Oh no, we're back out here.
Out.
Oh shoot. Okay. Okay, go. Yeah, like the wrong way. Yeah, down there.
Another symbol.
Oops. Okay, so I guess we take a picture of this.
Yeah. So like, and then make note of like what's by it. Like that one had a fish by it.
Right.
I can't get through here.
Okay.
Huh.
So I'm gonna go red. Let's try green. Okay, there's like a little T symbol with a shovel next to it.
Jake must have made those
Okay.
symbols. The question is, why?
Okay. Cactus, fire, snake, whatever that is, fish, and bat.
Whoa!
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We're back at the beginning.
So red, yellow, purple.
Oh, that's what that thing is.
Oh, okay. Snake. We go this way. What's this one?
Was there a symbol by the snake link?
Right there.
Okay, yeah.
Was this one of the?
No, I don't know.
There's a cactus, a fire, a snake, the rock, and the fish, and a bat.
The only one that we need is the cactus. The bat is at the very end. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because there's two here.
That one. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay, we've got them all.
We do? I'm gonna trust you on that.
Yeah, the bat is the last one because supposedly you can hear bats.
Okay. 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 So the first one is cactus, which is the Z shape. This one.
Okay, so far so good.
Next is the fire. I don't know what the fire one is.
When we came up to those stones, there was a fire pit. So the one by the stones. With the key.
That one. Then the snake, which is this. Then the rock, fish, and bat. The rock is this one. The fish is this one. And which one is bat?
The J.
I should be able to get through there now.
Oh shit!
Jake
my
Hurley,
God.
I presume?
Oh no.
Camille. It
No,
figures he'd be
sir.
carrying a picture
I
of
would be
her.
so
There's something underneath it.
be like, if he died down here, what am I doing down here?
Honestly, the train literally left us.
Looks like a letter. April 14th, 1865. Your humble friend, Abe. Oh my gosh. This is from Abraham Lincoln. And April 14th is the day he was assassinated. This letter must be worth a fortune.
Literally
just
the
what I
day
thought,
he was
too.
assassinated.
See,
Oh my
what
God,
I
I
didn't
remember
tell you
this
when I
ending
gave you
now.
that letter Jake wrote to Ruth is that I also found his diary, which is how I found out he'd gotten to be friends with President Lincoln, and that he'd gotten a letter from Abe that he knew would be so valuable someday that he always kept it on his person. Can I have it?
Sure.
Okay.
See, I knew if we could just find Jake's body, we'd find the letter. And you did it, Amy. You did it. I'm going to be famous. Good famous for once.
So you never really cared about finding Jake's mine?
Nah. I mean, it would have been nice if it was filled with gold and silver and stuff, but this is what I was really after.
And you followed me because you didn't trust me?
I trusted you to find it. I just didn't trust you to give it to me. And now that you have, you know, I'd really.
Oh my god, I forgot about this.
I
know, I was like,
I found this all by myself.
I forgot we have a minecart.
But even if I got you to lie for me,
It was like
know you'd
totally
keep
kosher,
lying.
and then she's like, just kidding, I'm gonna try to murder you.
Oh my gosh. What if there was like this cave-in and we were trapped, but I was the only one who made it out? Excuse
Well, then how would
me?
you
like,
find it by
some
yourself?
murder?
Oh my gosh! That way I could not only say that I found the letter, but that I tried to save you. Only you did something stupid, and it was all I could do to save myself. Oh my gosh! I'd make the national news for sure, and people would say I was smart and resourceful and courageous even.
Lori, you can't be serious. That's crazy.
You don't understand. People are finally going to respect me. I have to do this. Sorry.
Bye.
Lori, no.
Lori!
Nancy Drew, you think we're really
The
gonna
opening's
die,
blocked.
Lori?
I'm trapped. I better get out of here before something else caves in.
Okay.
Maybe I could get out of here in this.
Here we go.
There we go.
Speaking of, if you were in this minecart, it's too steep to survive.
I totally forgot how we do this. It's like a ride.
I know, I kind of like halfway expect Nancy to be like, wee. Just like totally like not aware of any of the dangers. Jesus! Nancy just busts out of his mouth. Oh my gosh.
Lori, are you alright?
Nancy! Is everything okay?
It is now.
As soon as we discovered you and Lori weren't on the train, we jumped off and hightailed it back here.
What
guys
the heck's
left the
going
train?
on?
I'm
Like,
sure
I'd be
Lori will
like,
be glad to
"You
tell you all
dumbasses."
about it.
Darn you, Natalie.
Just
It's
come back for
Nancy.
us.
Dear Hannah, some hostess Lori Gerard turned out to be. When her father heard that she'd tried to seal me up in that mine, he canceled all her credit cards and said that from now on, Lori'll have to support herself. She has yet to stop crying. Tino Balducci told reporters that he knew what Lori was up to all along and said he let Frank, Joe, and me solve the case so we amateurs could enjoy his limelight. Joe was just about to belt him when a big argument broke out between John Gray and Charlena over whether John had really recorded Camille's ghost. She started calling him a crackpot, and then he started calling her a hack. Then, well, let's just say that soon the press was no longer interested in what Tino had to say. As for Jake Hurley, it turns out that his letter from Abe Lincoln is worth a small fortune. Pretty ironic, huh? Jake spent his whole life searching for gold, when all along he possessed something far more valuable. His uncanny knack for making
Who
friends.
got the fortune?
Love, Nancy.
Not a concern, I guess.
So many unanswered questions in that one.
Such a whiz when it comes to dancing.
Have you ever been to Paris,
even get it
France?
right the
Well,
first time.
preparez-vous, because that's where my next mystery adventure takes place. I'm going to be the assistant to Minette, a famous
boy.
fashion designer.
No.
I'll be working
I hate
undercover to
this
find
game.
out why she's been
We
acting
are
so
not
peculiar.
playing
so much.
Throwing tantrums,
I do not
firing
want to
people.
play it again.
She's even started wearing a mask for
Imagine
no
if we,
apparent
like,
reason.
drank
Her
every time she
studio is
said
in this
rude.
spooky
Oh my
looking
god. I mean, I
centuries-old
feel like we
Moulin.
could
That's
replay the
French
really
for
bad
women.
ones.
Of course, that
Yeah.
doesn't do
Just
anything
make
to
I think
break
we'd
her
have
strange
fun.
a real
behavior.
party out of it.
Does it?
Yeah.
One way to find out. Help me solve my next case. Danger by design. À la prochaine.
Allez, bye bye.
Abby, bye-bye.
Oh man. We always replay them so much faster than I think we're going to.
I love it.
I know. It is good fun. I do enjoy it. Yeah. Well, that was a lot of fun. I love replaying these games because I feel like not the pressure is off, but like being able to just be like, I don't know, let's just look up the answer because I don't care that much
Yeah.
can be
It
really
is kind of
fun.
nice. Yeah. It just it's less tedious.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. All right.
Can't believe we just busted out on them.
I just busted out of the side of that mountain.
Oh god.
Okay. Well, there is a streamer that I follow that is playing. I think it's a husband and wife that play together. But they are playing. Speaking of bad Nancy games, Phantom of Venice.
No, no.
So,
I wonder if it's their first time playing.
what? I know. I'm gonna watch for a bit to see if they're enjoying it. It's so bad. So yeah, but thanks for everybody for hanging out. I'll be streaming Ash Shanir tomorrow with my family, and then Lauren and I will be finally back to Siberia, potentially finishing it.
I think we'll finish it.
I think we will. If we wanted to, your work schedule is a little different, so we could potentially start earlier.
Yes,
if we wanted
about 30 minutes.
to try and finish it this week. So
Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you again for everybody for watching, and go say hi to Gooba and Jetpack and wish them luck in the Phantom of Venice because not our favorite game. All right, toodles.